Sorry. It's been a long week.
Yes.
You are awesome. Aaron. I don't think you get that.
You want me to read the intro tonight?
Please.
No,
It's good to be kind.
Not on this podcast.
Yeah.
I'm like finishing writing it right now.
Oh.
Do you want this?
No, I'm good.
You'll wing it. I just wing it. We should just start doing open intros, man.
I can tell you this.
Just open on us talking,
I can tell you this.
and then we can throw some shit in.
If Aaron took days off, like you and you, this podcast wouldn't even start.
Aaron's currently unemployed.
He's like, oh, yeah, well. This is
Still.
what you do then.
The
That
funny
was-
thing is, I'm having a harder time getting this shit done now that I'm unemployed.
Yeah, I know. Before you used to have it right
I had to
there.
get a job so I can
Dude,
spend
I
more
was
time
on top
on
of my
this.
shit when I had a job.
Because
like-
when you're working, you look for shit to occupy
I do,
your time.
because my job was sitting at a computer, so I
Yeah.
was like, fucking, with this podcast would be on point when I had
Dude,
it.
I used to hear from him nonstop. Now we barely hear from him.
My dude said the same thing, like, when he lost his job and shit. Like, he was like, dude, I haven't cut my grass in, like, 3 weeks. Like, he was like, I haven't been to the
There's no
gym.
reason,
Like,
yeah.
he was like, dude, it's like going to the grocery store and you got 90 different selections of cereal. Like, you're just like,
I don't know what to do.
he's like, I have too much time on my hands. I'm like, what should I do next? Like, I guess I'll just sit here and watch another episode of fucking Gilmore Girls.
What's your grass grow?
I was gonna go with Lost.
Tell me when you
Oh,
got a
shit.
link, send it to Shell, and she'll get a ton of people attached to
There
it.
should be a link up right now.
You send it to her.
On
Send it to
Facebook
her,
or...
LP.
Sure.
Oh,
No, I mean...
Let me tell her.
on YouTube.
And
We're live on YouTube.
sending it to you on Facebook.
Are we live?
That's right.
No, we're not. I don't know why though. I'm
I told her you're sending it to her on Facebook.
No,
Yeah,
we're not. Well, that's kind of your job.
Yeah, she'll get a bunch
You
of
just
people
look at
on
us
that.
like,
She's
what do
gonna
I
send
do?
it. Bad signal out, dude.
Yeah.
She's got it like that. Oh, yeah, Bluetooth.
Daddy, look at it.
I got one of these from the smoke shop. I had to smell real good.
You just hit start streaming.
yeah, it's already started.
Okay, it's probably because of this. No speakers.
So what? Do you know what that button does?
Internet.
There's no internet.
Doesn't look like it.
Go back to Wi-Fi.
Oh, it's connected. It says connected. Do you pull up the internet?
Even internet, bro.
She said she got it already.
She got the link
Already
already?
ahead of you. She said, I got it.
She
Is
said,
it
oh,
streaming?
shit.
Is it streaming?
Is it streamed?
Why did you
Yes.
think it was not streaming?
Because he said it wasn't.
Oh,
Dude, you
I
saw
love
my
this.
phone.
The second fucking week.
You sat there and looked at my phone. I'm gonna make you drink your dip spit for tonight's
Oh!
He said,
the second week.
That's so bad.
Second time. This man look at you too.
Never doubt yourself, LB. It's
Strike one, strike two.
next strike is balls in your mouth.
Are we ready to go on Audacity, or are we already going?
What?
Audacity. Are we ready to go live on there, or are we already going? We're ready. Whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready to show up, LB, we'll be here.
Well, you've been doing shit this whole time.
I said I was ready. And then you figured out the YouTube problem.
It was Gary.
Do you remember? Do
you remember?
you remember what you were doing?
Huh?
What are you talking? Just go live. Do you remember what you were doing? Just go live.
You just lost. You just
Okay,
lost.
we're live?
Were we just live on? Didn't you just see us live?
No,
Yeah.
live on Audacity, not YouTube.
Audacity.
We're recording
Okay.
on Audacity. We're live on
Yes.
Mixer.
Yeah, we're live on Mixler. Yeah, I pushed.
Are we? But are we recording on Audacity?
Yes.
Don't.
We're good.
Do you
Okay,
guys
we're
come
good.
over here?
All right, hey, let's start this
You got
fucking
it.
podcast.
Come over
Hey,
here and
guys.
check this. Come over here
Hey,
and check these pages.
welcome to another fucking episode of LB's Unshaven Modcast show. I'm Fuggit.
Action.
Okay, well, your
Gary.
phone's broken. It's not. Apparently, we're back off.
Are we on YouTube?
Well,
It's already live.
Started live? Yep.
no. Let's
Yo.
let's let Gary open his phone back up.
We're still live. Gary, turn your phone off. Your phone sucks.
Was it not coming up on your phone?
That is an iPhone 7
You're
Plus.
fucking.
That's
you're
why.
hurting our
That's the
brand.
problem.
And you're hurting
It's
our
Apple.
brand.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah, good old Android.
Nasty.
Whatever.
Anyways,
Nasty Apple.
No,
what's your name?
You guys
I am
are hurtful.
obese.
Welcome, LB. Hey, what's your name?
Gary.
Gary?
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for coming, Gary.
Yeah.
We're a show about nothing and everything. Apparently, obviously. Podcast where anything goes. Unfiltered, undefined, unshaven. We are weekly on
Why do you look at me when you
YouTube.
said that?
On Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Central Time.
Ish.
And at unshavenmodcast.com. Ish. 8 p.m. ish.
10 minutes.
When our producers and hosts stop eating fucking cookies. Just search for the fucking Unshaven Modcast and subscribe.
Welcome to our sponsors.
And like it. You can like YouTube pages.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, like,
subscribe.
share.
Subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, to the channel.
You know what's bullshit about YouTube pages is you can't like
Thumbs up.
them
They say
unless you're
thumbs
logged
up
in.
on the gamer guys. They say like, subscribe, thumbs up.
Yeah,
Or
like,
something
share,
like that.
something.
Yeah.
Can't stay awake for the whole show. You can search us for on iTunes, Google Music, YouTube, and SoundCloud the day after they air.
Not an adult. You can always look us up tomorrow.
And this is gonna be the most interesting podcast ever.
I'm just gonna get this fucking intro. Our sponsor for the month is. Oh wait, we don't fucking have one. If you want to be one, email us at
It's still
unshavenmodcast@gmail.com.
It's still September.
Still September?
Yeah.
It's August.
August. It's still August though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah. We got
there's
JJ.
5 weeks in this month?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
31 days.
Are you off YouTube
Okay.
again?
JJ.
JJ.
How you doing,
Sponsor
bro?
of the month, JJ. Sorry. I didn't realize it was
What?
still fucking
Our
August.
book, Parental Bloodshed. Look for that.
Aaron, will you check YouTube again, please?
Barry, stay off your phone.
Not on my phone,
It's fine.
bro.
What's going on over here?
Aaron, check YouTube, please.
Lies.
Did you share that?
Did I share it? No, I
Yeah.
haven't shared it yet. I'm
It's
still
on
trying to
YouTube.
read the intro.
Man, fuck that.
That is
intro.
on there.
See,
That's not even a great. That's
when
a
I'm
solid
busy
one.
and I can't take care of it, like, all the fucking tape still up there is driving me insane. I fucking take this shit down every week.
I don't even notice it.
Okay.
Oh, this is.
Tonight we have Dean Alexander. Welcome, Dean Alexander.
Hey,
Hey,
Hey, Dean.
hello,
Hey, Dean.
Hello.
I'm gonna read what he wrote.
All right.
That's all I
Dean
got.
has played live shows in the area for over 25 years. He was formerly with Merican Hardporn, was formerly signed to Warner Brother Records with a band called Blacklist Union, and is currently with Define Revelation and One Eyed Ruby.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yeah, it's
All right.
somewhat correct. There's
So
a
that's
long,
what
long
he
list.
sent me. So
There is. Yeah, that's good enough because
That's not the only.
if we go
bands.
back into history, we go back to
Yeah.
20-something years. We're gonna be here
It's the hate on Gary shit,
long,
apparently.
it's a long time. Yeah.
I know. Pardon from my family, so it doesn't hurt me.
This is my first show back, right?
Yeah, you weren't here last week.
Yeah, I wasn't here, man.
Do
Crazy.
you want to elaborate why?
I was sad.
Yeah.
It happens, bro. It
It
Yeah.
does.
happens.
Didn't think I could be funny.
Do I feel you? Sometimes
So I
I'm
watch
like,
suicide videos all night on YouTube.
That is an interesting take on depression.
Yeah.
Did it make you feel better?
yeah, it did.
Am I
Like
talking loud?
you wasn't taking notes or nothing, was you? Like,
no,
okay, that's good.
It
then.
was for entertainment.
Okay, well, that's
Well, it's not really.
a dark place.
That's what I like.
That's what I like.
sometimes you gotta watch something more tragic than your sadness.
There you go.
Yeah.
Bring it back up.
It's gotta be
Do what
bad.
you like, you know.
I don't have it that bad. I didn't drop a cinder block on my head.
I didn't chop off my own testicles.
Pain Olympics, man. Pain Olympics.
Were those real testicles?
No, I think they were fake, but they could have been real.
It looked really nice.
I've never heard of this.
Would you like me to elaborate?
No.
You don't have to.
Do you know what the Pain Olympics is?
Sounds pretty
Oh, I
Do you
guess-
know it
I
is?
guess he's
awful,
gonna
actually.
It's like
What
what
te-
I
the
don't
word-
I've
really.
heard of it, but
I've
I
heard
don't
of
know
it.
Yeah,
what
Obi,
it
take it
is.
away, buddy.
I mean, it's
Like that
not-
cute, like IQ jump right there.
It's where
Oh my god.
Jesus
What was
Christ.
that?
Slidey?
What was that?
Fuck it, I'll get everybody's
what are you doing?
Bring this down, Ted.
Oh, is it pointing too high?
Talk us about the Pain Olympics.
Is it cutting too much of you off?
He wants to be taller than something.
Talk about the Pain Olympics, goddammit.
Yeah, dude. Talk it.
Goddamn.
Talk it out.
All right, so in the Pain Olympics, well, in this video that I watched, I'm assuming that
Alright.
that actual
I feel
watch.
like Matthew McConaughey,
And-
dude.
what you do is you tie off your
Okay,
testicles
No.
until you cut the circulation off, and this one guy took a blade, cut his sack open, popped a testicle out, and then crushed open.
Okay.
Just one?
You don't need to do that.
Just one, baby.
Why did
We'll
it for
save the next one
sport?
for
That's
the
not a
next
sport.
Olympics.
That's not a sport.
Okay, did he medal at least? Was he on the podium at the end?
I don't know, but it's just
Yeah,
look, the
we
video's
never have a
played.
winner, honestly.
Bowling
The
is
thing
more of a
about
sport
nobody
than
wins.
that. That is
I mean,
golf.
The video is played with a rock like band in the background.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be weird if it was
White
like
zombie
a
in the
jazz band.
background with someone tying off their.
Jazz band would make it creepy, dude.
Yeah, like
I like that.
Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah.
Wild.
we were just wondering how long that was gonna go on for.
So you were getting
Solo.
into
Episode of
Yeah,
Family
it's a
Guy. and
solo.
shit.
You ignored him and just
Yeah.
kept talking. See how long you just kept him.
It was money. It was good.
it. If you show him attention, he's only gonna keep doing more.
We're gonna treat you like a dog from now on.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're officially into the show now.
Yeah, good deal.
How's everybody's week? You were sad.
That's sad. I'm feeling better now. They're getting there, I guess.
That's good.
Yeah, dude. Start taking medicine again, shit. I guess.
That's good.
Do you go through those bats where you're like, I don't need this,
Yeah.
and then you're like, I'm sad.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't figure out why I'm sad.
I'm gonna wake up tomorrow. I'm gonna have the swoop bangs.
Immediately.
Wow.
Is that
Yeah.
sad or happy?
Can't figure out why I'm sad. Oh, 'cause I stopped taking my medicine.
Right. That's exactly. And
I'm
it-
sad. I made
keep
that
repeating the
decision.
cycle.
That's messed up.
I don't need this medicine. I can
Right.
be happy on my own.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm sad.
Well, and that's the thing. Is I'm manic depressive, so I get really down times, and then I get really super up times where like almost too up for my own good.
I wanted to make jokes, but you were so sad this week. I thought maybe I shouldn't make jokes. I
Yeah,
want to
that's
send
all
you a
good.
message like, "Hey, did buying that 3D printer make you fucking feel better? Did it really make you feel that much better?"
That's what friends are for.
And I was like, "Nah, I think you might be too sad this week. I might not send that." How's your week? What'd you do?
Oh,
Drift's life?
Here's your swoop bangs.
Drift's always like,
Yeah, exactly. Is that a real person?
oh, you should that over here.
It's Rebecca and Gary.
No way.
Yeah, it's me with Rebecca's
With
face.
Oh,
swoop
the
bangs.
mix.
He said, is that a real person?
Swoop bangs.
It looked like it could have made you a fucked up person.
I started a new job this week.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Tell me what you do, dude.
What'd you do? What do you do?
Best job ever.
What do you do, dude?
I like a restoration cleanup.
He cleans up suicides.
Yeah, you also do suicide.
What the fuck? Are you serious?
Dude,
tell you that?
when I tell you, as soon as you told me, this was before we even had the job, I
Are
was
you
thinking about
serious?
getting it.
You listen. You don't clean up the bodies.
You do what?
Dude, you sent me a
But
link
you-
and told
but
me to
there's
apply.
just-
That's
But
information.
there's like brains and stuff too. You could.
Did you really get an
What'd you call it? You do what cleanup?
Suicides.
No, what's the actual job?
Preventive maintenance.
We clean them. We're like,
What'd you just?
You just
call
called it something else.
You're going to, man. God.
You don't know, do you?
You're a disaster.
Relief.
Dude, I'm deleting the
Release.
link. I'm deleting the link right now as we
You
speak.
should get rid of that link. Yeah,
Disaster
right away.
cleanup.
Response.
It's a
If you can't
disaster
scrub a
cleanup.
carpet
Yeah.
full of poo, it's gotta get rid of
Dude, that honestly, I got a story for that though.
Big part of the job.
Dude, I told LB, I
Sewage
said,
too, yeah.
Big part of
if
the
you
job.
guys are ever short staffed, you need to come in. I'll come work for free for that night.
Okay, what's
For
it?
the suicides.
He wants to clean up a suicide. Yeah, it's not just
They're about to
suicide.
become the Suicide Squad.
It's death too.
Have
Yeah,
you,
like
literally.
natural deaths or like bodies that were forgotten.
have you ever seen
There
Being
was-
John
like
Malkovich?
bodies that were
Love that
forgotten?
fucking movie.
Being action. Like, I want to get inside your fucking head and figure out.
No, I don't. We'd all kill ourselves.
There was.
What if
an-
I was the one to get out, though? I'd have so many stories.
No, I got actually a fucking cool something that happened to me this week.
Yeah.
Kind of based on that. Where Chrissy works, which we're not gonna say because I don't want
The,
to.
That's that.
Don't say it. I don't because it's bad
See
publicity.
how I didn't say the name of mine?
They have. I mean, technically, there's an apartment
Sean
above
Connery.
where she works.
That was good though, right? Dude, that works so good.
That was funny.
I don't fucking get it.
Think about where she works and then think about what he just said.
I don't remember where she works.
Okay.
Oh, okay, that's why. So nobody got that if you don't know where she works.
I know that was the point.
Anyways, above her work, which I mean, I guess it's not like bad publicity on them, but there's an apartment above, and they don't own it. Like, even there where she works, it's all owned by like Grandin Properties or something. Well, the dude that lived up there a few weeks ago, about a month ago, He killed himself, like slit his wrists, and Chrissy's been like kind of freaking out since because she knows for a fact that she was there working by herself while this dude was upstairs dead. Well, anyways, they have a lunch in the area for like the employees, and I went with Chrissy, and it's outside, and so we're sitting at these tables, and the apartment is like up in front of me, and there's like walkways here.
Mhm.
Well, apparently their employee luncheon was the same day that the like furniture removal crew, like not the body cleanup, but the furniture removal crew people were there. And I'm kind of watching them, and I'm like, it's kind of weird, that dude killed himself up there, and I'm sitting here enjoying my food and shit, and then like the sun broke from the clouds. I could just see dust and hairs and fibers and everything in the air that was coming out of this apartment where they're walking by us with all this furniture, and I was immediately like,
I don't want this.
I'm done.
I don't want this.
I'm not eating anymore.
I don't
Like my
want it.
stomach just immediately turned.
I don't want it.
Isn't that kind of like a Sweeney Todd situation?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Dude.
a little bit, yeah. Dude, I was so grossed
Yeah, I
out.
don't want
Oh,
that.
it was so foul.
Food. Did you see it in the air?
The what? The hair?
Yeah.
No, there was
You just
literally
imagined
hairs.
that they were coming from the
You
couches.
saw hairs?
No, there was literally hairs because they were
What?
they're on a like where they come out the front door and then they walk on a walkway next to us. It's all outside. Everything's
Like
outside.
fur
And
on stuff?
So this cleanup crew's carrying all this furniture out, and I'm sure it was covered in dust. And I was like, I looked at Chrissy. I was like, I'm done. I can't eat it
Yeah,
anymore.
can't
And
do
she was
it.
like, why? And I was like, look, turn around in the sun. Dead people dust. I'm done. I was like, I can't do it anymore.
You'd probably already, like, if we're being honest, you'd probably already eaten like 5 pubes.
Probably before
Probably
I
more than
noticed
that.
it.
Probably.
Yeah.
More 5.
Like
I do
before
5
I
a year.
noticed it, like yeah, it
5
was-
a year.
Dude, you had dead people pubes in you, bro.
You know what's good about having facial
Disgusting.
hair is like
Old
when
dead
you do
pube
eat
ass
hair,
looking boy.
you can just act like it's your fucking own and it doesn't bug you.
My own facial hair gets in my mouth. I'm like,
Yeah.
But it's better that it's yours than
Yeah.
like
Yeah, it is.
well, clearly.
Someone else.
someone. That's all I'm getting at. It wasn't.
See, if either of you actually had like a real beard,
You can like trick yourself into
Oh
thinking.
shit!
then
It's fine.
You can trick yourself into thinking.
I'll get a real
I get what
real
you're
beard when you get a
saying.
real job.
Because then you could.
Shots fired, son.
Good God, this is like Oprah.
that's like the third shot that has been fired tonight.
What is going on?
I feel like
Kill him too.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like we're in a
That's rough.
Real Housewives of or Real Podcasts of LA or something, right? Huh?
Huh, guys?
At the
Anybody?
same time.
What?
What I was getting at, long beards. Action can agree because you said something doing burgers or sandwiches.
Oh yeah, dude.
And all this goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just goes in your mouth and it sucks so
Dude,
bad.
even when I eat little things, like I was eating cashews the other day and it did that.
And then you bite down and go to chew, and then it like pulls your
Yeah.
cheeks in and goes. It's like ah, shit sucks.
So you think your facial hair is better than ours?
I do. Yes.
Do you think your facial hair is the best facial hair?
No, I don't.
Whose beard do you like best? Celebrity or not?
I was on my
That's a
way.
good question.
I was
'cause
on
I'm
my
trying to
way.
hit
It was
down
getting
too.
there.
What'd you say before?
I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
dude, honestly, like when I
I'm
had
back.
my
I just
6-year
started
beard
back.
the first time, like when I was going to
I'm-
like,
Yeah.
Winter time.
dude, I just
That's
compared my
exactly-
beard to everybody else's. I would get so pissed off. I'm like, God, his beard's way better than mine. I would get so pissed off. But like, eventually you gotta like you learn like just stop
Peter
comparing your
Dinklage.
beard to other people's.
Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
Like you have to. Like you get so pissed because honestly, like, dude, Chuck's beard fucking makes me jealous as fuck.
The salt and pepper, man.
And no, it's the way it grows, dude.
Oh,
It grows
like
so
straight down
fucking
like a Santa
perfectly.
Claus
He
beard.
doesn't trim it or
It
anything. It
does.
just
He's watching right now, like,
he just got a boner.
yeah. You hear that, Samson?
Yeah, I'm like upset I can't grow it right here.
If you go back, dude, if you go back to when I first started growing my beard, I didn't grow there either.
Oh, really?
After like 3 years, it all just filled in.
What's 3
And
years?
then when
How
I
old were
shaved
you?
my beard off,
How old were you?
3 years.
so this one's 2 years. The first one was 6 years.
When did you start growing this sides then?
3 years.
Look, because I'm 28. Did you have that by 28?
What? No, it has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with age. If you literally,
Too late. It's too late.
Just start now. That's all. And by 40, you're set.
Just do like the handlebars, bro.
By 40, you're set. No.
He said no.
Don't do that. No. It'll throw the whole beard off.
Porno LB and shit.
Yeah.
No, what I was saying, like after 3 years of just not trimming, not shaving, not anything, it eventually came in.
Oh, 3 years of not doing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Clean up.
probably like.
And then when I shaved it
Clean
off
up.
2 years ago, when I completely shaved it off, when it started to grow back, I thought it would do that again, and then I thought it would take a while to grow back in, but it didn't. It all grew right back, which was weird.
Just as thick?
Yeah.
Well, not just as thick. I think we can all agree on that.
Might be thick.
Give him a complex.
He's all tugging. I'm like, I can feel it here.
No, that's good.
I can feel
Well,
it here.
no, it's weird though, 'cause this even happened the first time. Like all this shit, look, it's this short. Like all the stuff up here, it's not
Front
long.
stuff. Did you trim it to do that, or that's what it did?
That's just it stops like right there.
Really?
Just natural, yeah.
Everybody's is different. It's
The
called
layered
terminal
look.
length.
You look like a terrorist.
Like,
A little bit. Like I swear, it's like.
do you ever trim yours?
No.
For being honest.
We'll see. Like, and I think Tony hit. I think Tony in the club hit his terminal length because mine's longer than his now.
Can
Like,
you say
it-
Allah
but there-
Akbar?
We're still talking
And I-
about beard.
We're talking
Yeah.
about
Okay.
beers.
Like
Hair
a
on your
nice
face.
one. A
No,
nice
don't make
one.
it sound mean. Just say Allah Akbar.
Oh,
Speak
Allah
question.
Akbar.
No, just be quiet. You gotta.
You
sound
said don't sound
questioning.
mean. He said don't sound mean.
You
that a
don't
kid's
fully
book?
believe it either.
Huh?
No, it's bad bar. Sorry.
Yeah.
Akbar. Bad bar.
Like sarcastically.
Yeah. Like, I want a bug bar. God.
It's normally isn't like this.
Well,
Not at all. Actually, I'm not. It's not bad. It's not bad.
It's not
Like I
bad.
feel like you're like this only sober person like at the party, and you're just like,
Well, no,
Yeah.
I'm getting into like I'm having actually like a shit day. It's kind of like, so I'm just like just on a shit mood.
The ending to the shit day.
I don't even know
So
what
it
to
kind of
do.
does. It kind of does feel like that. I'm like the sober guy in a fucking party of retards. Oh wait,
No offense.
that's not politically correct.
I'm
sorry.
new.
he's not, he doesn't know I'm not one yet.
Hey, do,
oh,
Party touch
He is
people.
though.
do you guys want
We
to
call
talk
it
about
ignorant.
him?
we do. We do, in fact, call it ignorant. We do.
I think we should
I-G-N-E-R-T. N-T.
We should talk about our guest.
We have a guest.
Hey Dean.
Hey!
Hey buddy.
Dude,
We-
we just have.
I feel like I'm
We're
watching
only
something.
20 minutes in. We usually
Yeah, it's
like,
early.
You know,
That conversation felt so
early.
long.
It's only been
Yeah, it's early.
You think it felt long? It's good though.
Hey guys.
Hey.
We're here.
dude, it is funny though, like how
We just did
Cookie.
stuff over there.
it's kind of funny though how cookies do that though, like, and not even just cookies, but like I'll smoke and then
Wasn't
I'll
just
smoke a
cookies.
cigarette, and then like 20 minutes later I'm still smoking the same cigarette. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I don't even finish. I get bored with my cigarette. I'm like, this is dumb. Smoking for 20 minutes now.
Shit. Did you put those stickers on your headphones?
They were fucking specially made.
He bought them like that.
What do you mean they're specially made?
It's over.
Wow.
They were handcrafted by Best Buy.
Downhill, man.
Got him. It's got him.
The stickers?
Got to hold him pretty good.
The whole headphone.
By
I
who
bought
again?
them like this.
With oh, you bought them with the stickers. Pre-on.
Yeah.
Pre-on. That is interesting.
Like
Right,
a yard sale.
That's, yeah, they pre-owned it.
No, that's not
No,
what
I
you
bought it at
did.
the Pre-On store.
That's what they do here.
You
is
cut the
pre-owned
sticker
shirts.
out and put it on your
Pre-owned.
headphones.
Yes, I did, Obi. I put the stickers on there myself. I didn't buy them from the Pre-On store.
Not pre-owned.
Man, that was
I
crazy.
thought he was just joking with me.
I was joking with you.
I'm so
I
jealous.
put
Was,
the
I know,
stickers
I am
on.
too. I don't think it's fair.
I fucking hope Nick Bitter's watching.
I know, dick. Thanks,
guys.
Nick. So, anyways, yeah. So, Dean,
Yeah,
He's saying that's
What'd you do this week, Dean?
I worked.
Did you?
That's all I did.
what do you do outside of playing music?
I got a family. I have a wife. I have a ton of kids, and we have a house in Bridgetown, and I work to support it. And
A ton.
What's a ton?
Or
To
not
me,
cash,
to me, is 2,000.
Yeah,
So
six-
I'm assuming
six total. It's,
six. That's
Damn, that is a ton.
Yes.
it's not a metric ton, but
no,
it's a children's
no,
ton.
but it's a stressful time.
It's a-
Oh, no, they're all getting older now. They're becoming adults, and I took some time off, and now I get back to doing some things because I have some time to do it. So
I mean, I've literally considered off of myself at 3. Like, I have 3
Yeah.
now. And,
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, I've considered it before.
He's
like,
at off of myself at 3. Yeah.
I have 3 now, and I can literally, like,
Yeah.
you know.
It's
But
crazy.
it takes, the 3 takes you over the top sometimes.
Yeah.
6, my God.
I have 2 dogs.
No, that's
Okay.
puppies. Little puppies. Yeah.
They're little puppies.
They listen.
No.
Fuck
Yeah,
off.
teach a
They're
dog to
little puppies.
listen.
It's too hard with both of them at the same time.
Yeah, he got 2 puppies at the same time, dude. Why would
You
do
can
that?
you can legit drown your puppy and get a ticket. You can't drown your kid.
How big is that ticket? How big is that ticket?
Dude, it wasn't an option, Dick. I was just saying, like,
You do it. What?
God, he was like, how big of a ticket are
Wow.
we talking? I just got this new job, and I'm pretty much raking in the dough right now.
I tried a dog or 2. It's not a big deal. Yeah.
I'll kill my dog and then be called to the first responders unit. It was a suicide, guys.
Get this cleaned up.
That's wild.
Oh,
yeah.
now we do.
Full circle.
Now we need to get it cleaned up.
Yeah.
So what are you currently working on, Dean?
I'm doing a project, a couple different things. One is called Define Revelation, which is with a partner of mine named Rick Hayes.
Fucking Ashley.
And just
Stop it.
right now, we've been doing a lot of writing. We've been doing it for a little bit, and we got a lot of things accomplished thus far in getting a product out. And we're just trying to put 13 or 10 songs on a disc and make it relevant instead of being old school sounding or what people expect it to be. We're just going to kind of go with it, and we have been going with it. And we got like 4 tunes so far, and it's good. I mean, it's the sound of it, the quality when I stepped off for a second. So it's been 8 or 9 years since I really did anything or decided to do anything. I just wanted some time off to be human for a second and not just do that all the time. That's what I was doing. So, but when you listen to the sound quality today, it's like being in prison for 20 years and coming out and seeing a different Coke bottle. It just throws you off a little bit because even though I listen to stuff on the radio and I listen to some new product that comes out,
It's all garbage.
it's sonically different. You know, I mean, it's just really sonically different. It's over exaggerated things. That's all it is. That's what music has become.
Overproduced.
Overproduction. And I don't want to do anything overproduced. I still want it to be raw and edgy, but the drum sound alone is bigger today. It's different, you know, and it's hard to get a real drum sound, you know, to find somebody who can do it. I mean, and do it the way you're thinking of it in your head. But we're working pretty good with it, and it's not sounding old school. It's not sounding new school. It's just sounding. I mean, it's just something to listen to and go, all right, you know. And I think, I don't know. I don't know what band it was today. It was the first time I heard anything really on the radio in a while. And a band came out, and I swear, I was like, that sounds like Zeppelin. I mean,
It's fucking awesome. You know what's funny?
and it was really good.
I've listened to the album like 100 times already.
Is
They're
it
called
good?
Greta Van Fleet.
Yeah, it's
They
really
are
good.
Fucking amazing.
It's really good.
They're all
I mean,
like 20-year-old kids.
It's raw, man, but
3 of them's brothers,
Yeah.
and then the drummers.
that's correct. Yeah, that's what they
some
said.
dude-
Who is it?
They have a bunch of brothers.
Greta Van Fleet.
Really good band.
It
And-
sounds like early Zeppelin
Yeah.
just came out.
And I'm glad I'm glad they're doing that, and
Oh,
I
it's
think people will
dude.
really latch onto it.
They have
because-
one album and it's only 4 songs on it. And it's literally all I can find. So I'm just like, I need
Where's
more.
the rest?
I
Yeah.
need
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
Zeppelin's my favorite, like,
Well, that
fucking
band's-
rock band, dude.
They're really. How do you explain that? It's almost like a complete throwback again, but they're not, and it's cool.
Yeah.
It's really aggressive, but it's laid back. It's got a '70s pocket sound. I mean, it's interesting. I think with that stuff coming back, that kind of music, that kind of rock coming back, you know, what I'm doing is right. I mean, that's right on.
What do you do normally? Do you
money.
vocals, play guitar?
I usually am a vocalist. I mean, I did kind of everything in bands. I did this, I did that. I played bass, I played guitar. I did kind of one little thing in each little band for a second.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, I know how to play stuff, but I just want to write with it. I go ahead and write with it. You know what I mean? I got a drum set, we got bass, we got guitars, we got acoustics. I'll just write at home. He'll send me stuff. I'll write, go to the studio, and we just go and kind of get it that way. But I still play stuff. I don't want to do that live. You know what I mean? I'm better off with just that. You know, I like to run around and have fun. I mean, I miss when people had shows. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Or showed their energy and not them trying to be somebody else's energy.
Yeah.
Which I can't do that. It drives me at the walls when I see. I'm like, you can blatantly see that this human being is stuck in that jet stream of music right now, where
Right.
everybody has to follow the same patterns, and I can't do that. It'll probably be the reason I'll never be huge in an industry, is because I can't do that. It's got to be real. And if it's, you shouldn't have to be off kilter on purpose to be real. But you also shouldn't follow any freaking rules about it. And there's no rules to music. It's the best part of music is I can do what I want with it. Whether you like it or not. I mean, people like Moby. Lots of people like Moby, but
like everybody likes to talk about, especially it happens in punk. Everybody likes to talk about selling out, and I feel like the second you stop doing what you want to do in order to get signed, make a bigger record, or when
you've already sold yourself. You sold your soul.
You sold yourself out.
All right, I'll do that.
And you may not have sold your entire audience out, but you've sold yourself out. Definitely, like the minute you change any sound to appeal to
that's
anything.
Why we don't really want production. We don't want anybody to come in, and that's the way it used to be. Somebody will come in and do it, and they'd say, "Oh yeah, drop this part, do this part." There ain't no way, because that's the clay. That's my clay.
Right.
And I'm not supposed to be the only one. Rick sits there, and he's actually got the ear. I don't have the ear. I mean, I'm the first to admit it. When I'm in a studio listening things back, I don't listen to music the same way as other people. I think most people listen to it on this. It comes in a circle. To me, it comes in patches. So I can literally distinguish the drum sound from the guitar sound and the bass sound, and the backup singers are going back here. And my brain kind of calculates how things are going. That's how I listen to music.
I'm definitely in a circle.
All right, just come
I'm in
at
the circle.
Well, the circle's the best part. I mean, that's the best part. That's how it comes together and comes at you. But I can't do it in the studio.
What's kind of cool though? The best way to describe. If any of you guys seen a movie called if you have, don't make fun of me. Begin Again.
So wanted to make fun of you just now too.
I think you had your fill for the night, Gary. The movie is basically about
not as much Phil as you.
He's a washed-up record producer, but he's looking for the next big thing, and he started.
Who's the star in it?
Keira Knightley. Keira Knightley's who he signs, and then Mark Ruffalo is the washed-up record producer, and they're the two main guys.
That does sound familiar.
Well, he's trying to he started this huge global record company, and then started to feel he's sold out. So he starts going back to his roots, and he's trying to find that indie sound, just that sound he loves, and that raw sound. But he's kind of almost damn near been kicked out of his whole record label already because he keeps trying to go back to that raw sound. Well, he gets fucking hammered one night and just goes into this bar, and he hears Keira Knightley basically playing an acoustic set. And he's drunk, and he's just listening to her. And all of a sudden, you see a violin float, and it comes up with this violin part, and he's imagining all the pieces that would fit around it.
Yep.
But it's visual in the movie, and it's super cool. But in all reality, all the audience has seen is just her sitting there playing an acoustic guitar. But he's hearing all this other shit he's putting together in his head.
That's how I do it.
Pretty slick.
And that's how
cool
it goes.
Shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, that dude was fucking hammered, and that's cool as shit.
That is how it really goes. You do that when you have any kind of idea or any kind of, as a musician, it is an art. I mean, it took me a long time to wrap myself around that. Because when you're young and you're in your teens doing it, you're like, it's awesome. And I just want to do this every day. So you show up at practice every day, with your buddies, and you do your thing for 4 good years like that. And then you start thinking about it. There's got to be a breaking point, or am I going to quit, or am I going to keep going, or is this a phase, or what are we doing here? And then I started thinking about it. Damn, after 10 good years of it, I'm like, I'm a freaking artist.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you sell 1 copy or no copies. If that's what you do, that's your paintbrush.
He'd like Jess Lamb. They have similar thoughts on music. A former guest we had, I wouldn't say she gave up on making it big, but it was she more or less was just I make everything I do is for people. And she ended up starting this studio where it's kind of a studio to help those trying to start themselves, and get somewhere.
Kind of withdrawing people trying to come out with their art.
That was the American Idol girl.
Mm-hmm.
Can you believe that? We had a guest on.
That's crazy.
American Idol.
I judged Blue Ash Idol there.
Are you sure?
No big deal. How you feel about that one, Roy?
That's fucking cool as fuck. That you were asked to?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's actually cool shit. I mean, if you got asked, someone knew who the fuck you were.
It was not. That was an odd one there. I also did some kind of. I felt like people were doing karaoke, and I had to judge it one time too.
When
I was too little when I got there. So
when was that? Hardcore days.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you were on EBN and all that other shit too. So
Players.
you were.
Yeah, the
you
Reds
were,
game.
You guys were fucking big in fucking Cincinnati,
if you listen
man.
to the Reds game on 700, they still it drives me crazy, and I complain about it constantly at my house, and my kids and my wife have to sit there and listen to me complain about it. But there's just a little chunk of our stuff that's on that in between Marty and
Oh, really?
talking and blah blah blah,
No
and all of a
shit.
sudden you hear doom doo 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 doo. I'm like,
No, but I mean, in all honesty, I don't ever
like
listen to the Reds
should
game.
we get something for that?
Yeah,
I
no
mean,
shit,
I didn't
dude.
give it to him. So
No shit.
Is it stuff from a band you're currently in?
no, it was in hardcore. It's
Oh.
the band I was in, pretty much the last band I was in before. Well, I had one other one besides
Yeah,
that.
dude,
This
like,
one I'd
I
written
know.
down.
He told me that, and I know that fucking name from somewhere.
They
in
were
hardcore.
fucking
So
big.
before you got here,
There
like,
was a
before-
movie
before they even
called
got
that.
here. No, I got the band name. Like,
Oh.
But I mean, I've gone to like a lot of metal shows,
Yeah.
a lot of metal shows, and you could have even just been in a band, like an opening band that I happened to see. But
Yeah.
like, yeah. So I like before they even got here, I like sat down and I listened to some of the stuff, and I mean, dude,
Yeah.
and it sounded familiar, but like nothing like sounded remotely familiar.
No.
Like I peg it, and I was just like,
Yeah.
I mean, it was definitely something I would have listened to. Back in with
See-
I think all the records were like what 2007, 2006, 2000.
Everything
Everything I was looking at was like
American Hardcore came out in 05.
5, yeah. and
yeah.
then
Okay.
Before that, it was kind of. I had a few things, but it wasn't.
Planet Scream.
Planet Scream was in there.
Well, there's 3 albums on Google Play, and that's what I was listening to. And it was like 05, 06, and 07.
Two of them are me.
Yeah.
Oh,
They.
okay.
Yeah.
When I got there's a City Beat that
Yeah. I just read that article the other day.
called Behind the Hardcore, and they pretty much nailed it. They got it. I mean, it was accurate at least, and it wasn't. I just wanted people to be accurate with their stories of what exactly happened to that band because
Yeah.
it was really gaining. It's gaining heavy. It's getting a lot of things going on for that band. American Hardcore really started to jump up, and that's what we wanted to do. But it just. I mean, I don't know how to explain that. I had this theory that a band lasts 5 years. That's it. And most bands do, if you think about it. Even though they're tight, they're best friends, they grew up together, blah, blah, blah. A band only really exists for 5 years. If you can get beyond that point, you know what I mean? That's awesome because that's that 5th year, man. I don't know if people get tired of each other. I don't know what happens, but attitudes start flying. Money situations start coming into play. Copyright situations start coming into play. And people start getting foul on each other, and then it just kind of...
I'm sure because
That's the worst part. It's conflicts.
you know, running a band is pretty much like running a business, and after 5 years, some might not be as serious as you want them to be, and everything else, and
A lot of different directions. The more guys you got in your band, too, the more directions that's going.
Yeah.
right.
And it's like, oh, man, what's he doing? You know what I mean? I heard he's getting married. We're right in the middle. We're doing something. You know, we were going to go do something. Then you're 21 years old. That's...
Yeah.
It's like, well, there went bass player. Oh, well, there drummer. Ah, there went this guy. You start losing people left and right because no one's real serious about doing it. But the thing is you don't really have to give any of that up. You just kind of got to work through or work around or have understanding.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't have that, it's probably not a good idea to do that. But I mean, if you're an artist, you really can't stop doing that. And I think I tried to do that. I think I tried to work it out of my system. I just quit. I just said, well, I'm gonna do nothing anymore then. And, and the more I didn't do it, the more I got, I think, pissed off at myself because I wasn't doing it. So it just got worse. The regret was worse. I'm like, I'm not picking it up. I'm not
Right.
picking the guitar up. No matter where I went, I was like, I got to get acoustic in there.
Yeah, well, I
I'm
mean,
gonna do
kind of
it.
what we were hitting on before, though, with like what you're doing now. You're talking about how you didn't really want to like change from your core values.
Yeah.
And the way I've always looked at music is like this: like we all hear music differently. Like
Yeah,
you hear
absolutely.
a band way different than I hear a band. You hear a band, you hear a band, and that's why I don't like it when people try to like change their sound to appeal to the masses to make the money. Because as far as I'm concerned, the right ears just haven't heard it yet.
Right.
You know,
That's
like
it.
It's like
That's it.
Lincoln. I feel like Lincoln Park kind of over the years has changed.
they went from like to
Like,
real
now they're
metalheads
kinda
to,
like a
total
poppy-
pussies.
Well, like, but still, like, if you never heard like,
Kill myself too.
You're cleaning that up.
high five. Like if you go back and listen to like the original shit, like, and you're going based off of that, yeah, you're like, dude, what the fuck is this shit? But if you listen to like their new shit now and just kind of discard like where they came from, and you're like, it's not bad, like lyrically and shit like that. He was super fucking sad.
It's
like I don't.
Garbage.
I mean,
it's pure garbage.
We all listen to things differently.
Ears and ears, though.
Right.
Like I love Hybrid Theory.
Yeah.
I love Meteora, which you can even almost even at Meteora kind of started to tell the direction
like,
they're going
yeah,
in.
They
because
were
like
kinda...
they started like they almost immediately from the first album to the second album, Meteora wasn't quite as heavy.
Yeah.
No.
And then what was it was the one with it was just the black and white cover. I can't remember the name of the third one.
I never bought a single one.
Midnight something?
Minutes to Midnight. And I even kind of liked that. I liked half the album.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, on that album was the first album they cussed.
I wonder if they liked half of it. No, in all honesty, I wonder if they were like, oh, there's like 5 on here I don't like.
They,
Dude,
because I'm having kids, like, you know, my kids were young when Linkin Park came out. One of the things we really enjoyed about them is no matter how heavy they were, they didn't cuss. They never cussed.
No.
So we were like, oh, we could listen to Linkin Park.
He was also letting his kids watch Family Guy, but whatever.
Slayer. Listen to Slayer.
But Minutes to Midnight was the first Linkin Park album where they started to cuss. And we were like, oh.
It's true, yeah.
You just kind of like ruined it. Like,
First album was like Evanescence when they came out. Everybody went. I think I saw it at
Uber just got it better.
Berean.
Yes,
You know what I mean? It was the only place to buy it, and everybody thought that's where that was headed. Was like, are you guys a secular band? Are you doing something gospel here? Or something?
Yeah, like,
because
what
there
do
was
you-
no cussing, so it was odd at that time period, especially when everybody was really starting to come out and do. You know, Korn was raunchy at that point.
Yeah.
And they were on top of.
Well, I
You
mean,
know.
Korn, like, I mean, these guys have heard it a billion times. Like, Korn is my favorite band. It's
Yeah.
been my favorite band since I was in high school.
They were coming out heavy at that time. So,
But even
surprised
now,
they
they
didn't
were
come
another
out.
one that kind of
Yeah.
like, you know, they went down over time. Like,
Did you ever listen to Head's
the
solo?
new stuff's amazing though.
I actually like Head Solo
Wasn't
stuff.
bad. Wasn't
Yeah,
bad.
I thought it was
Solo's
good, dude.
Wasn't.
It sounded remarkably like Korn,
Sure
Yeah.
did. That tells you who's writing.
but not. I mean,
That's what
not
I
even
thought.
that,
I'm
but
like,
like,
he's right,
he
though.
even sounded remarkably like Jonathan Davis, like the lead singer. Like, I
Yeah.
was like, what?
Yeah.
Okay, I can understand if the guitars are going to sound
Maybe
like
he
Korn,
got-
but he's sounding remarkably
That's
like
all he's heard though.
Yeah,
He's
no,
like, I
yeah.
guess that's how you sing.
But, you know, it wasn't bad, man. It wasn't bad. But, you know, I grew up listening to Korn, and, you know, I think they came out in 94. I got into them around 95, 96.
Yeah.
But kind of like what you were getting at, though, is like back then, like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Deftones.
The
Strong Deftones.
getting on a Christian label was easy
It's like
as
that.
fuck.
Really easy.
So bands would pretend they were Christian, get on these labels, and as soon as they got big enough to be in the radio, they'd jump to their label and be like, you know, they would switch immediately. Like, it
Evanescence, I'm
happened
telling you,
constantly.
Evanescence's first disc, I swear to you, was in a Christian store when I first walked in. It was like, that was the biggest display I'd ever seen for an artist. And that was the same time period. So they were really putting a lot of money this way.
Yeah.
And it was like, are they? I didn't know they were. And then you come to find out they weren't, like you said. But any company at one point was like, we're signed.
Who? Yeah. Who was?
So even if they weren't, they're sneaking in the door, and then they eventually started not selling it there anymore because they found out through the artist, like,
Right.
not like
who
that.
was the other one that was it? Creed that was labeled
Creed
like a
was
Christian
huge.
band, and
They
like,
were like that.
and he got like pissed, like we're not a Christian band.
Well,
like,
he
we're
had
just
to,
not-
he solved that problem by going to the strip club and
And then he was like,
doing
we're
blowout
not
in
a
the parking
Christian
lot.
band. We're just
What?
really emotional,
Yeah,
guys.
that pretty much changed.
What'd he do?
Yeah, man, he got busted. Scott Stapp got busted, like snorting, blowing.
Yeah, they were never a Christian band. They were never good guys. They just sounded like they were good guys. They were adult.
The words
Alternative or adult contemporary, I guess.
contemporary. Yeah.
But they sang with arms wide open.
They did.
I hated that
It's
fucking
about
song,
his
dude.
kid, though. I don't think it's about.
I
Yeah.
fucking hated that song. No, like the first time, like I'm not gonna lie, like I know it's fun to make fun of Creed now, but dude, EBN had them in the station, and they did a fucking acoustic version of My Own Prison, and I remember fucking just immediately falling in love with this band. I was like, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah, I like.
Because nothing was out like it. It was
Yeah.
it was
And
all
that
solid
whole
again.
album
Yeah.
was
Sonically
great. It
well,
was kind of,
yeah.
you know, it was kind of uplifting but dark at the
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
time.
Had a little Eddie Vedder in there.
And then like the next album, and it was like with arms wide open, and it was like too happy.
Yeah.
It was
Well, he
like,
got rich. He's like, well,
which is the problem with most rock bands. They get
Yeah.
rich. They're no longer sad. They make
nothing's
shitty
wrong.
music.
Nothing's wrong.
I like my rock bands to be on drugs, raped, molested,
Jesus.
an internal life of pain. Because once they get rich, they suck, like Stained.
So the Sex
He
Pistols.
just bought
That's what he just described.
he just bought the Corey Feldman biography.
He just described the Sex Pistols. The whole band, actually.
No, it's like
It was like Stained. As soon as Stained got happy,
What
they
did happen
fucking
to Stained?
sucked.
Yeah, he's
yeah,
kinda,
dude.
He's country now. He has country albums out. On his own, Aaron Lewis has country albums out.
I
And
heard,
it's-
I heard one song. It's actually not that bad.
If he was in the right mind, he'd tell you how awesome it is because he loves them. But it's actually really good.
the band, it's not just him,
It's just him.
Oh, yeah.
He went solo and recorded some like kind of
Him and Darius.
almost outlaw, not quite
Well,
outlaw, but
that's Texas style then. There.
yeah, it's almost
Southern.
outlaw country. But I mean, it's pretty good.
That's the only country I really enjoy, though. I don't like anything new to me.
It's
When I look
poppy.
at it, well, that's what's crazy is that you look at it, and I've seen a couple of videos and listen to the songs, and I go, where he did that, though?
Yeah.
We wore those same pants
Yeah.
and wore the same makeup, and I'm looking at the guys like, now they're getting all their hair back. I'm like, this was glam. I already
Yeah.
did this once. I mean, this was
You know, there's a hundred
Country's
subgenres of country now.
country
Dude,
glam now.
What's the real poppy one? The real famous poppy one that's out right now. The country guy. Luke
Luke Bryan?
Bryan.
Brian or Bryant?
Bryant.
Gotta be Bryant.
Bryant. I don't know.
Bryant?
I think it's Bryant. I don't want to
Bryant?
misrepresent.
I don't fucking know. All I know is
Misrepresenting.
someone shared a live video and I'm watching this and he's on stage singing country.
Yeah, snakeskin
doing
pants.
this.
Yeah. Well, that's.
He's got an ear mic.
No, he
and
doesn't.
He's doing this with his hands like
he's
like
not.
he's Eminem.
No, he's not.
I swear to God.
Was he rapping country?
No, he wasn't rapping at all. He was just singing country, but he was doing this with his hands, and I was like,
He's the one who talks
So he has
about...
air
so confused.
turntabling.
He was.
Pretty much.
Air turntable.
We know like rappers like to do their hands like this when they rap.
I can understand the old fashioned, but is that real?
I mean,
Did he really do that?
Go look
Live?
at videos. It's weird.
Around a lot of people?
But yeah, like talking about like being like artists who come out or whatever, like Stain and shit like that, where they're all depressed and in their first CDs or whatever, early projects.
Yeah, Stained dysfunctional, fucking amazing. Breaking the cycle, he was happy.
Yeah.
Or breaking the cycle, he was fake sad. He was fake sad,
Yeah.
and you could tell. He was like happy but trying to still be depressed.
Yeah, I got it. I'm upset.
And then
I
by the third
roll.
album, you were like,
He's rich.
He gave up.
He's really
just
happy.
now.
He's so happy. Right
There's
now.
there's an artist called NF.
great, fucking amazing. And I saw you post him out the other night, but
Yeah.
you ever met our friend Mark Markoffer?
I don't think so.
He got me into it about a year ago, and he was like, dude, it's technically Christian. And he was like, but he doesn't rap about, it's a rapper. He's like, he doesn't rap about God. But all of his stuff is really inspirational, and he doesn't cuss.
Who Chance?
No, NF.
Welcome to the
That's who you
podcast.
sent. That's who you sent me.
Yeah,
I liked it.
dude, like
Dude,
I
he's
think the message is
great.
pretty good.
yeah,
he's
like
great.
he's got so many songs, but like his last album, Therapy Session, was like, dude, depressing. Like it was like a lot of deep
Yeah.
issues
Oh,
and shit
yeah.
like that. So he just came out with like kind of like a teaser for like his new album, and like his whole thing is basically like, what do I do? Like, like I'm not really in that same state, that same place.
At least he's
But-
owning it, though. At least
but-
he's going like, hey, I'm not fucking mad and sad
Right,
anymore.
right. But
Like,
he's like, if I come out and I'm in that and I develop another CD or album or whatever that has that same tone, I'm doing the same thing. But if I change, like I'm changing, and you know what I mean? Like it's that conflict of like being an artist. Like, do you stay true to like? But if you develop and same thing with like Manish Yahu, like completely switched, and he was more or less like
I don't know much about him. All I know is I fucking love the King for a Day song, or whatever the hell that song is
King
called.
Without a Crown.
King Without a Crown.
Yeah.
I fucking love that song. That's all
Dude,
I-
like he's legit, but it's like like from that Live at Stubbs or whatever is probably like his most popular album. But then you go to like his next like couple albums, and it's like it is completely different. It is kind of more of like a poppier kind, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But see, like sometimes with guys like that, I have a hard time because I mean I know enough about him, honestly, like to know if like I know enough about him to like when he started, yeah, he had his
Orthodox
hat and
Jew.
total, and which was probably
Who
legit
was it?
Which
Who
is
was it?
Modest
Modest
Yahoo.
Yahoo. He was
Yeah,
he was a
okay.
rabbi.
Yeah.
He was a rabbi rapper, and I'm sure in the beginning that was legit him. It wasn't a gimmick. It was that's
No,
who
that
he
was- yeah.
And then it became bigger than
Marketing.
we wanted it, and
Became a
it
market.
became a gimmick, and it became, and I think that's why he cut it all off, cut his beard off.
Yeah,
took
like
the
dude,
hat
I didn't
off,
even
like-
recognize him.
No,
when I
he
saw,
just
like,
looks nothing like the same dude anymore.
yeah, and he was out front about it. He was like, he was like, it's one of those things where I know that some of my fans are gonna lose me on this, because I'm kind of going in a different direction. He said, but me as an artist, this is where I feel like I'm going. My true fans will understand. My true fans will come with me. He's like, I'll pick up new fans. He's like, some people are gonna jump ship. Some people are gonna be stuck in, the live at Stubbs, that kind of era of me. He's like, but I'm developing as an artist, and this is the direction that I'm developing.
Yeah,
people are gonna come, or people aren't. Like, it's
When
gonna
he
be.
started like that, I don't think he intended it to be a gimmick. But
I don't think he
the
intended it
audience,
that
I think
big,
the
man.
audience.
Oh, dude, I think it helped him
No, it
tremendously.
did,
though.
but
Yeah.
I think the audience base turned it into a gimmick,
Mhm.
and it became like too big of a burden for him to bear. More or less, he
Yeah.
was like, "All right, I'm
Yeah.
fucking done with
Keeping
this shit.
up
Like,
with
you
it.
guys have ruined this. Like,
Yeah.
like I'm done."
It's tough to put the kids' makeup
Yeah.
on every night.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You got to think about that. They got to be that person all the
Yeah.
time, or they feel like they need to be that person all the time. Think about that. It's
Right,
Like,
yeah.
Geez, I got to do it this way. Well, like you said, you got to really look at it sometimes and go, well, I did grow as a person. And I guess,
Yeah.
I mean, there is a certain amount of growth you hear in an artist. At the same time, though, to have growth and then to change
There's
your
a
complete
difference-
style.
yeah,
like,
there's
I'm
a-
going rap now.
There's a difference between
Well, I mean,
growth
I'm
and
not
like
gonna
just
rap.
completely
Yeah.
just fucking.
This is
360.
new.
Right, but I mean,
Yeah.
like you, for instance, like you've been doing it since '91.
Yeah.
If
In the
you-
same way.
If you
same
look,
style.
if you look at like '91, like would you see? I mean, you're obviously,
You change, man.
yeah. I mean, you hear things differently, so you start liking different things, and you
Yeah.
become, you know what I mean. As the music industry itself changes.
Yeah.
You start like, dude. When I was younger, I listened to primarily only rap music.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
it was
listened
like
to a lot of rap
it was like
music
until I was like probably in my late teens that I started kind of like developing an ear for other things.
Yeah.
And it was like, now I have more eclectic kind of.
Right, you got a catalog
Like,
behind you.
dude,
It doesn't matter if you like it. You like
if you
it.
look at my
That's
if you look at my phone, dude, I have friggin' top to bottom like crazy shit on my
Yeah.
phone. Like,
I'm not
but
sure a single song on my phone.
it's one of those. It's one of those things where it's like, dude, I just love music, period, man.
Right.
Like, but I'm. You get people who are more into music for the lyrics, and you get people that are more into it for the music. Like, I'm
I'm more-
100% lyrics.
I'm a music guy, I'm
Yeah.
not a lyrics guy.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I'm a writer though. Like I write.
Yeah.
That's kind of like.
That is weird for you not to really suck into the lyrics.
I was always in bands in high school, and that's how in high school I began writing lyrics for
Yeah.
bands. And then after high school, I kind of wasn't in a band so much. I got married, had kids, but I was still writing lyrics. And because I felt it was too pussy to say that I was writing poetry, so I just
These are song
dude,
lyrics.
for like 5
These
years.
are
of the-
song
After
lyrics,
5
man.
years of the high school, I would still include like choruses and verses and shit.
See
And then
each other
finally
line.
one day I was just like, fine, I'm fucking
Yeah, I'm
writing
a
poetry.
writer.
And
I'm
like,
a writer.
I'm writing poetry, and I got rid of the choruses and shit. And I was like, but I'm a writer, and like I write a lot, but I feel the music more than the lyrics.
Yeah.
I will. If I get really into a band, I will then go back and focus
And see
on
what
the
they have to
lyrics
say.
and see what they have to say. But in the beginning, it's the sound for me, not what they're saying.
Yeah.
And but with Korn
Yeah.
was it. It kind of was what they were saying though back then.
Yep.
And
That defiance. That little bit of defiance, that little bit of
it was
boost.
kind of backtracking a little bit, but like talking about growth.
Yeah.
And Korn was definitely a growth. They didn't change to fit anyone. It was a growth.
But they did change, yeah.
They changed.
But they stayed them.
and it was gradual,
Yeah.
very gradual. But even the comment I made before, I like my rock stars being on drugs, like. That's when Korn really fell off for me, is
Yeah.
when they all got sober. Which, hey, you know what? More power to them. I'm actually proud of them. Great, whatever.
Creativity
But
side, what
that's
they were used to
when
doing.
it all
Yeah.
kind of went to shit for me. Like, I loved first 4 or 5 albums, and then they all went
See,
to
Got really
rehab,
smooth.
and
It got really
See,
smooth.
but,
they,
like,
they all went
very
to
mutt-
rehab. They got sober. Had
Yeah.
found Jesus. And
Everything went.
David quit, and now it just went.
So like, but going back to what I was saying before, though, like, how many people hadn't heard of Korn, like younger generation or whatever, like hadn't heard the earlier Korn. They only got introduced to the newer Korn and fucking loved it.
Then they're going back.
And then they go back
They're
and
gonna
then
go
they're
backwards.
you know, then they're like kind of like, oh, this is like way fucking different. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
wow,
like
yeah.
they may not even like
They
the
think that's
previous
crazy.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
like,
God,
oh.
what the fuck? Like glad
Well, the
glad
funny
they got
thing is,
sober.
I remember reading in articles, you know, because I grew up, you know, not long after their self-titled album came out.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I grew up with Korn. And then, you know, they, you know, as time went on, they got a little softer. I mean, sometimes they can still get really heavy, but they've gotten definitely softer. And a lot of the original fans were bitching, like, oh, you sound like Korn used to be.
Yeah.
And I remember literally reading an article, and they were like, we never claimed we were metal. We're just a rock band. And I was like, bullshit.
What?
I don't care what you say.
That's not what you
In the
said.
beginning, you were a fucking metal band.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
You were a fucking metal. You can't take that shit
They
back.
tried
and
to
be like,
actually regress and go, well, if we're just rock, we'll last forever. No, you
Yeah.
guys are metal.
Yeah.
Stay in there. Hang on.
But I was like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, they
Like,
regressed.
But dude, I'm not gonna lie. This past album, the Serenity of Suffering, was actually really fucking good.
I've
I
been
heard
listening
two
to it.
tracks, and it was like,
The whole album.
I was
awesome.
good with those two tracks. I really was.
The whole album is really fucking
Yeah.
good because I spent the past 5 years listening to Korn go, this album is gonna be heavier like in the original, guys. Like, we're coming back, guys.
And they finally did
We're
something
gonna be
that's
heavy, guys.
chunky like that.
And then,
Yeah.
like, you know, the first song came out. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. Big bass
Like,
sound.
And then the second song came out. I'm like, okay,
Maybe.
I mean, this might be right.
Might be serious.
Do the whole, go
Yeah.
listen to the whole album.
The whole album's
The whole
gotta
album's
be.
great.
If it's
man.
like those two tunes,
yeah,
I
the
mean-
whole album's great.
that's a heck of a return for some guys that are, think about their age right now.
Well, we just went and saw him this
Pretty
past
good.
summer, and I was, well,
On the money?
yeah, and then saw him. Well, I saw him last year at Riverbend last year,
Okay.
and I've seen Korn over 20 times. Like, I've literally,
Beats my Pantera score.
I've seen them over 20 times, but they have not been around in a while.
Yeah.
Like, it's been probably 5 to 6 years since
So
they've
you
been
traveled,
anywhere
they have to go.
remotely close to Cincinnati. And so they were coming last year, and I was like, I had a buddy going who had never, he had heard Korn, was never really big into it.
Right.
But,
Radio
and
only.
I was like, just wait till you see their live shows.
Yeah,
man.
I'm gonna take
Their
you up
live
front.
shows are really good. Just wait till you see their fucking live show, man. It's gonna blow you away. But then in the back of my mind, I'm going,
How'd they do that?
fuck, it's been like 5 or 6
Better
years.
do
They
good.
might suck now,
Yeah.
you know? Like, they might have gotten old and they can't do it anymore. Dude,
Right on the money?
on the fucking
Energy's
money,
good.
dude. Energy was great. They still sounded great. Like, it was awesome.
Yeah, that says a lot. Like I said, it's past the 5-year point. Way past the 5-year point at this point. When the band has a Millennium collection, have you seen those CDs? They're cheesy as crap. That's a waste of $5. I swear it is. You get like 6 songs, and it's 6 that you've already heard on the radio.
Yeah.
And then
Edited.
fillers.
They're usually edited.
Edited. So
probably
it's not
produced-
even what they wanted to say in the first
Yeah.
place. There it is, though. Yeah.
I'm convinced they're produced by Walmart. The
I think
Millennium
everybody's
Collection.
Yeah. The Millennium Collection is got to be a Walmart brand thing. Yeah, has to be. Yeah, or Walgreens. I have actually seen one in the Walgreens. It was Leonard Skinner. You get 6 songs of Leonard Skinner for $6.
Hell yeah.
6, you know.
That's a steal, buddy.
Every song you ever grew up with. Right there.
All 6 of them.
They edited out cocaine.
That was it. Had to keep it out. Grateful Dead. Just music.
Cornflakes.
Just music. Yeah. We better just get music on this one. Yeah.
That's funny.
So what you guys listen to is as far as like you said you listen to metal,
Well,
kind of everything because obviously
I grew up totally like a totally 90s kid.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up total just grunge, Green Day, Pearl Jam, Nirvana. Like, that's, you know, that was my era. That's when I grew up. I had some friends listening to metal, and I was just like, at the time, I was just like, I was one of those guys. At the time, one of those guys was like, this all sounds the same. It gives me a headache. I can't listen to this.
Yeah.
Like, it's all garbage. And that's why Korn's my favorite band, because
You went
Korn
extreme,
was,
you're like-
Korn was the band that
buffer.
broke me
It was
out
the
of
buffer.
that.
yeah.
And I was like, because I was a an alternative grunge kid, you know, and I was like, so I found this band Korn and I fucking loved it. I was like, this is amazing, and I was like, it's metalish. I'm against that, but I like this. They have a total hip hop vibe. I'm
Yeah,
against that shit too because I'm a grunge kid.
But it's on there.
I was like,
Yeah.
they're all wearing Adidas, and I'm against brands because I'm a grunge kid. You know, and I was just
Everything
like,
you
but
loved
everything
is-
I
it's
was, like,
against it.
against was
Yeah.
that's like what I loved about it. And I was just like, this is amazing. And so it like totally broke me out of my mold. And then, you know, at the time, I was like, all right, I could do some metal. But my metal then was Korn, Limp Bizkit, Deftones,
The same,
Cold
yeah,
Chamber,
everything.
you know, all
Cold
that
Chamber,
stuff.
yeah, I actually saw them live. They're all right live.
And then it wasn't till, actually, you know, because as high school progressed and my friends progressed with their metal, you know, friends are trying to introduce me to, like, fucking Cannibal Corpse
Old
and
stuff.
fucking, and, like, you know, and then even newer stuff like Cradle of Filth, and I'm like, this is all garbage. This is, like,
Yeah.
my metal is better than
Scandinavian
your
or something,
metal,
isn't it?
like, you know.
Yeah.
And then, but it wasn't until I bought, the Headbangers Ball came back out, and they started having albums come back out. And Korn was on both those albums, so because Korn was on it, I
Right.
bought the fucking Headbangers
So you
Ball
got a heavy
album.
dose.
And
of
there was
everything.
2 discs. The first album was all, you know, Lamb of God,
Yep.
the Swedish metal, the fucking,
Yep.
you know,
All the craziest. Yeah.
Chimera and all that shit. And then the second album was all like Slipknot, Korn, you know, all the new metal stuff went down.
Yep.
Bought it for the second album. Ended up fucking falling in love with the first album.
Yeah.
I mean, Lacuna Coil was on there.
Yeah.
Like, dude, there was so much good shit on there, and I ended up fucking falling in love, and that's how I like got into like metal.
Real metal. Yeah.
And about early to mid 2004, 2005, I went through this phase where I was just like fucking sick of music. I was like just sick of like everything I heard on the radio, sick of like all bands, sick of like, you know, I'd go to Best Buy and just scour the fucking just racks,
Can't
like
find
looking for
nothing.
something fucking
Can't.
new. I was like, I just need something fucking new. I need
Yeah.
something fucking different, you know. And so I went back to my 90s roots. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go back and listen to the fucking 90s, man. I mean, you know, I'm getting tired of shit. Life alert.
Sorry.
Fucking life alert.
He said life alert.
It's a guy in our, it's a guy in our club.
Gunner Club. He's called
His,
life alert.
his first meeting, he passed out, so he got deemed the nickname Life Alert.
Yeah, first meeting he ever came to, like literally just fainted. Gone.
Well, he didn't literally just. He got off of the table up there, farted, and then.
No way.
Yep.
No, yeah, because
That's
I'm the
embarrassing.
president. I'm sitting over here talking, right? And like everybody's listening, and he's sitting right here. And I hear, and we all just stop because we don't really know the guy. We
Yeah.
just met him, and we're like,
You okay?
"You all right, buddy?" He's like, "Man, I don't think I feel so well." And he gets up and he starts walking.
He
down
takes like
right
2
here,
steps and was just like.
and just goes, boom,
No
just
way.
gone out. So
Sometimes you gotta pass out on the floor.
he earns the nickname Life Alert.
Yep.
Yeah, so I started listening to like my 90s music again. I was like, man, I'm just tired of like everything I'm hearing
Yeah.
now, and I just, you know, I'm gonna go back to my roots for a little bit and listen to some 90s. And this time, listen to my 90s, like really getting in my 90s roots. Google had been invented, so there was Google this time.
Oh
around.
yeah.
So one of the bands I like kind of got really into at my second time around of like, you know, going back to my roots music was Social Distortion.
Yep. Social Demon.
And I was getting really into Social Distortion, and I had, you know, through the Google, realized that they weren't just a 90s band. They were involved in this scene that I had never heard of called the Rockabilly scene.
Yeah.
You just sounded so old through the Google.
I love
We got on the World Wide
Google,
Web.
the Google machine. I was like,
Intranet.
so I found out like there was this Rockabilly scene, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And I
wild,
was like,
man.
you know, so I started getting into this Rockabilly, and I'm like, okay, how did I miss this all these years? How did I, you know, I was too busy, you know, being 90s
Hating
and
everything.
being metal that I like
Yeah.
missed all this shit that I just kind of like tuned all this other shit out.
You didn't even know you were emo.
So, you know, I kind of started learning about this thing, and then I started kind of getting into the White Stripes at the same time also.
Yeah.
And Google White Stripes and shit, and I'm starting to realize that a lot of the White Stripes songs that I had known already were actually covers of old blues songs.
Yeah.
And I knew a lot about the blues from growing up with my dad, but it was kind of like one of those like, your dad listens to the blues, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Love the fucking blues.
Yeah.
And well, so it was then. It was like, you know, 2004, 2005. I was like, you know what? I have shunned so much music in my time growing up
Yep.
because I was, you know, this or that, or I was trying to
Yep.
stick to this, or I was trying to look in this image. That, you know what? My wife hated it. She kept making fun of me, but I was like, I started a musical journey. That's what I call it. I kept telling all my friends,
And listen
I'm
to
gonna start a
everything.
musical journey.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to the beginning of music. The first music that ever used a fucking guitar and sang some words.
Start there.
And
Yeah.
I'm gonna start there. And I literally did. And I started at the beginning, which was the blues. And, you know, and so I have now a huge, profound love for the blues. Like,
amazing.
huge, profound love for the blues.
Have you seen
The
a movie
blues-
called Cadillac Records?
Yes, love it. I own it.
Dude, it's amazing. Fucking movie.
The blues that I love actually tends to be that more like, you know, Robert Johnson, Charlie Patton.
Johnson's sick.
That early,
Yeah.
that
Fucking
really
disgusting.
early stuff.
So out there, but it's so on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't, and the funny thing is, I don't kind of care much for Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah. I like Stevie
I don't
a lot.
care for
But it's
Texas
processed
so much.
blues.
Very early
Yeah.
Chicago blues from Cadillac Records, I do love. Howlin' Wolf has now become like one of my favorite blues artists of all time. Like I fucking love Howlin' Wolf.
Muddy Waters.
So then, like I would go through like the blues, and then
Yeah.
I figured out that from blues spawned jazz, and I was like, all right, so I'm gonna go into this jazz world.
Kenny G.
Didn't take a lot away from jazz.
Is he
Not even gonna
jazz?
lie.
Is it really?
Not even gonna lie. Didn't take a lot of. He's soft jazz. He's considered soft
Sweater jazz.
jazz. I didn't take a lot away from jazz. A lot of the jazz artists I do like are newer, kind of like acid jazz kind of stuff.
Yeah, fusion.
And then
Ellipses.
I don't know, like what you would even call it, dirty barroom jazz.
Yeah. Smoky room jazz.
It's just the guy with the
Real
fucking,
deep and dark,
pull-up
yeah.
plunger going,
Yeah.
and just like the guy with a dark voice, like
It's like Benny Goodman stuff or something.
like dark barroom jazz is what
Yeah.
I took away from that. I was like, this is phenomenal. But I mean, I literally went through just like every decade, just trying to like relearn music.
Everything. Yeah.
And I mean, I've appreciated the country now, but it's more along the lines of what you were saying,
The outlaw stuff.
the outlaw stuff. I like Hank Williams Sr. I hate Hank Williams Jr.
Yeah.
I love Hank Williams III. Hank Williams Jr. sucks to me, but whatever. Like, to each their.
I love Chris Stapleton.
Chris Stapleton is amazing, and I just found a band today called the Jospin Brothers.
It sound like that?
It's Chris Stapleton's band in 2010.
Really?
No shit.
It's a
So the band's
it's heavier. It's like a Leonard Skinner with distortion, but it's him on lead vocals.
that'd be good.
It was called the Jospin Brothers. It was
Just a
pretty
little
good.
touch heavier. Yeah. that'd be
Yeah, a
good.
little touch heavier than his normal stuff.
He's got a good voice, man.
Yeah,
One of them. You know what I mean? Every now and then somebody comes along, you're like,
and how I found
it's
that,
effortless.
and
Just
how I
is.
found that is I was like, because I pay for Google Music, like, so
Yeah.
I could, like listen to everything. In the
Yep.
month. I just wasn't getting enough Greta Van Fleet. I was just like, man, I need to listen to more. So I went to
Yeah.
the related artists, and the album popped up, and it looked intriguing to me.
Yeah, it
It's
sold
called the
itself.
Jospin Brothers, and the album cover looked intriguing, so I pulled it up. I started listening to it, and then I was like reading the bio, and it was like, it's Chris Stapleton's band.
In 2010, is that you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have one album came out in 2010. It's pretty good.
That means he's been at it for 7 years just to make it this far.
Yeah.
Took him that long to
Yeah.
get that. That tells you the road right there. It's a long road to that. I don't know.
I'm down with it.
He's
Let's
well
see it
taken
right
care
now.
of, though. Yeah, he's.
But the funny thing is kind of you mentioned before at Korn, like, new fans are like, they go back and listen to this, like, holy shit, really?
So
That's what they
plain.
sound
It's
like. And the funny thing is what kills me. Green Day, when Dookie came out, I remember like listening to Green Day. And I'm like, I went back and listened to the earlier stuff. And it was more raw, more punk, and I was
Yeah.
like, wow, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Dookie's great.
So you
but,
kind of did the same thing
stuff-
almost, yeah.
And then, well, I mean, we're all old enough to follow the span of Green Day.
Yeah.
After Warning, they kind of disappeared for a little bit.
Well, sober
Never
time.
really said they were going on a break, but they just kind of didn't. There was a big
little dry
gap
time.
between
Yeah,
Warning
little time
and
to dry
American
out.
Idiot, and so American Idiot comes out, and this was fucking years later, and they brought that album out. And it was all over the radio, so now there's this whole new generation of kids,
Literally.
fucking into Green Day.
It's the next one in. Yep.
And I remember Trinity, my daughter now, she's 15, and at the time she was, I don't know, 8, 9. And she had a friend come over, and he was talking
that's
about
right.
this Green Day band he loves. He's like, dude, you ever heard of Green Day? This band's fucking awesome.
No.
This and that, blah, blah.
Never.
And he's like talking to me like about like it's a new band.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
They've been
dude,
around
I grew
forever.
up with them. Like, their
Check
first
that out.
album came out when I was like fucking 12.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like,
check these guys out. They're called
Go back and
Zeppelin.
listen to all their old
Led
shit.
Zeppelin. You ever heard of these guys? They're
Have you
awesome.
not thought to go back and listen to all their old shit?
I didn't
like
even
the
know.
fucking 8 albums that came out
Thought
before
this
you
was
were born?
new. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, dude, does it kill me? Like,
That's like he introduced me to Buck Cherry.
oh really?
Like never like listened to him, never even heard of him before, or whatever. Like I
They were
fucking
another
love
one.
him.
I loved their first album and hated them after that.
He's better by himself. They got a brand new album coming out. Josh
He's got
Todd
solo
does.
stuff out.
Yeah.
Didn't
Oh,
even
dude,
know he
yeah.
had solo stuff out.
There's no Buck Cherry in my world. There just isn't, because once
Yeah,
you
Josh
see that guy
Todd.
live by himself, it's like he just got on there and just beat the crap out of everybody here, and then
Because I feel like
walked off. He's
Buck
done.
Cherry definitely went that sold out route. That
They
first
did.
album came out.
They
It was
went with
good.
the
The second one, it
Papa
was all,
Roach route.
It was the whole like radio
Yeah.
fucking radio
Festival.
rock bullshit.
Let's go play at festival again. They did it for a long time, and then his solo stuff, man, is more him.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain. It's just more him. You could tell that
So Josh Todd in the Conflict.
that's the new stuff. Listen to the first thing that pops up. It's like go to the.
Well, the whole.
You want to go to the video?
I don't have the album. The whole album's not out yet.
right there. 3.
Yeah.
That's
his name,
There's a
Josh
video
Todd?
for it. Yeah, the video is really supreme.
Yeah.
The video is amazing.
Seen him.
He's
Oh,
really
saw
good,
live
dude.
ones.
He's
Kind of.
you can see the age in his face, which
He looks like
I'm okay
William
with that.
Dafoe.
He looks just like
Dude, when they came
does.
out,
Dead Ringer.
So weird.
dude, when he came out, you
That
could
was
tell
scary.
he had a life of drugs. Like when the
Green-
band first
Yeah.
came
Green
out,
Goblin.
he
Yeah.
had that just aged look about
Yeah,
him.
he's got a little health kick going now, but I mean that's how you know that Buck Cherry was more of the candy side, because he's saying all that stuff, but he doesn't do the stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's kind of what's written in the lyrics to go, oh, everyone will love this, it'll sell, and I'm gonna be a millionaire. So there's
Speaking of a
that.
good solo project, you ever heard the Chris Robinson project
No, from the Crows.
from the Crows?
Yeah, I'm a
it's
big
his,
Crows
it's
fan. I
his
like the
solo
Crows.
stuff.
Really?
It's called the Chris Robinson project. It's good stuff, man.
What in the world? What is he? Who's in it?
Nobody else. It's just kind of him. He's got a backing band. It's like a jam band, basically.
Rich ain't gonna do nothing in it.
Jam band.
Rich Robinson ain't up for it. He's like, man. They were always tired of each other, man. That was 2 seconds away from being an Oasis. You know what I mean? Where they're just throwing stuff at each other on stage.
Dude,
That was such a great band. They
that
were
was-
very bluesy.
yeah.
I call it Velvet Blues.
That was
glam,
that was one of the
almost.
coolest fucking
right in
things
that
that I've
theater.
seen though was with Oasis, because what's the lead singer's name?
Which one? Noel. or
Liam
something?
or
Noel.
Yeah.
Is it
Liam
Noel
or
or
Noel?
Gallagher?
Liam Gallagher or Noel Gallagher?
Yes.
They're both
Same last name.
They're singers.
One of them was like the head of Oasis, like he was like the lead.
I'm gonna say then it was Noel Gallagher.
I think because he's an asshole.
That would be. Yeah.
No, that's Liam.
Yeah, Liam.
Liam's
Liam.
the
Okay,
asshole.
so
Noel
Noel
was
does
the
a
bigger
lot of.
singer.
Noel does, I guess, apparently the majority of the writing. He's more
Probably.
of the
I would
lyrics and
imagine
shit like
that.
that or whatever. And
Because he's the one with actual emotions.
Liam is yeah.
He's a wine drinker. His
Yeah.
brother's the whiskey drinker.
So at a show, Liam got like super shit faced
Oh, yeah.
and like was just
Those
like
most shows.
like fucking like, and the crowd was fucking booing him and shit like that or whatever. Well, like he just fucking
I'm
walked
pretty
off.
Sure
the-
that's most shows.
He just
That
walked.
was their
He just
gimmick.
walked off stage or whatever. Like, and he's like, and like so, the other one or whatever, Noel or whatever. He's the one who wrote the shit or whatever. So like he's like, oh well, fuck. I guess,
I'll go.
I guess I'll come out here and sing. Like I'm not gonna disappoint the fan. Like, but he went out there, dude, and like his brother ends up in the fucking upper rafters, dude, like heckling him, like as he's like,
Yeah.
dude, you asshole.
I remember
Like,
I think this
I
is
mean,
their gimmick.
dude,
I
but
really
dude,
do.
that,
dude, but
yeah.
like,
I
but when he
remember
went out there
it
and
was like-
sang this shit, dude, it was just something different about like how. Like the guy who sings the lyric or who writes the lyrics fucking delivers it. You know what I mean?
Little
Like
bit
it just had
different,
more
yeah.
of like an emotion.
The
Like
oomph, yeah.
it was
I
fucking
remember
amazing,
thinking
man.
that, like, is this all just one big publicity stunt? Because
Still didn't say it right.
publicity.
There we go.
Publicity. But I remember thinking that all the time back in the day. But I'm like, but they
Yeah.
don't need it. They don't.
They really
need
didn't.
this
They
stunt. Like,
didn't.
they're really that good.
They were just that screwed up.
Yeah.
Or is Liam really just that big of a fucking cock?
Yeah, I
Because
think
he
so.
used to like get in like fucking interviews and claim they were bigger than the Beatles. He
Yeah, I remember
swore
that.
They were
I
bigger than the
remember
Beatles,
that.
and I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, okay, you guys are
That's
good.
the
That's a
the
stretch.
gimmick of it. It's
That's
gotta
a
be.
stretch.
Pump the brakes, bud.
Thing is that you can go that gimmick route. You can do that gimmick, and it worked at first. It really did. But then you push a little too far, and then it just ruins you. It goes the other way.
Like completely.
It
like
will
it's,
go the other
it's
way, and
it's,
everyone's
it's
like,
such a
"All
it's
right,
such
we're
a
tired of
steep
this."
drop off
Yeah.
too. It's like an immediate.
They're like, we've had enough of it.
Yeah.
Speaking of metal and speaking of gimmicks, you're a big metalhead, right?
Yeah.
You ever heard of Necrogoblicon?
Necronomicon?
Necrogoblicon.
No, I have not.
Their first video that came out, it's amazing. They have this fucking
It's new. It's new. It's a new
this
sound.
Couple years.
Ain't bad. That's pretty new.
They're really heavy. They have this fucking like troll thing, and he's
Oh,
like,
you
I've shared
posted
it.
this. Yeah.
And he's like,
It's actually funny.
It's like this troll dude. And
He's trying to be normal.
He's just trying to be a normal dude. He's trying to go to work and shit, and like go to the club, and he's like, there's this girl he's in love with, but then like Joe Blow from Harvard like wins the girl, and like at the end of the video he's like fucking just like stabbing the fuck out of this dude and just destroys his life and kills him, and like dude, it's the greatest video ever. Their second song, because that song made them huge. I'm sure the video in itself kind of just made them huge. So their second single off their second album was called "We Need a Gimmick."
They need to.
And it was them making kind of fun of themselves almost, like we had this troll dude and he was totally our gimmick and it fucking worked. And
appreciate all the viewers out there. Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
dude, sold 1 million albums because of that
dude.
goblin. Yeah,
you can check out Necrogoblicon.
Necrogoblicon.
He's a goblin, not a troll.
Okay, so that's why. Is it like War where they come out like that and a little troll comes out?
BPC.
They do. They like that.
Do they really bring a goblin out?
It's their actual fucking thing
it's
now.
It's their
like,
Eddie.
They have the dude in the mask and he comes on the stage and he's like, dude, it's so awesome.
That would have went really big in like 86, 87.
It's freaking funny, dude.
Yeah, sure would have.
The Deicide days.
What's the song called?
The first song was called. Let me look.
Necrogoblicon.
Power Chord? No.
Power Chord. First one. No one survives.
No one survives.
This is real, isn't it?
All right, I'm gonna send it to you, D.
Oh yeah, bring that over. Give that a gander.
Dude, it's amazing.
It's Necrogoblicon.
Amazing.
That's what that back patch looks like.
I suggest everyone to watch it after the podcast.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, well, all our cookie eating hosts have left.
So anyways, this is what the goblin at least looks like.
Yeah, I want to see that. Why has every goblin got a limp?
It's very stereotypical.
It's a pretty good sized goblin.
You're gonna hold this fort down?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Did he just bite her cheek?
So like this is like his dream now. This is him in real life. Like it goes into like him actually.
Brad and Goblin. Oh no. So he's not really a goblin. He's a normal schmo.
Nah, he's a fucking goblin.
Okay, he's a goblin. That
He's
works at
a
this
goblin.
firm.
He's just trying to fit in. Like
he works there,
and they're all shitty to him. Like, yep.
Does he get paid?
Don't get bullied.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't be a bully, dude.
A goose egg beats nothing. You don't. I mean, he's getting something. Goblicon.
So, do you have anything? I know you said you're working on. You got like 4 songs or whatever together now.
It's like
you're
4
working
tunes, working on total.
Are you guys actually gonna do like anything like live or anything like that, or is it strictly just gonna be put out an album?
I think it's going in steps. I think it's going in a. It's just going in steps. That's the only way I can describe it is because my partner is very busy all the time. He owns an instrument company. He owns a studio. He does like 15 million ventures with. I don't even know what all he does.
Yeah.
And there's really he's involved in a lot of things. It's just I got lucky.
You were saying that he helped develop your sound and everything.
He really did. He's really come. Like I said, his ear is different than my ear. So when he mixes something down, it's like, oh, you know what I mean?
Like, oh shit.
If I get behind there, or I say, oh, that needs more of this, don't listen to me. You know what I mean? Because I'll get it in the car. I'll get on the way home and I'll listen to it and go, oh, there's no way. So I just learned to stay out of it. And he's got an ear for it. And he was played mandolin and he played rock years ago, and he didn't really stop playing rock. He just had another venture, and he's really good at stringed instruments.
Yeah.
That's all I can really say about the guy.
You were saying he played the mandolin.
Played the mandolin and Night Flyer. I mean, Night Flyer's a legit touring bluegrass band.
Yeah.
I mean, they play everywhere. They go all over, and he's constantly gone for, he just was. And this is probably, I want to say this was 2 winters ago. It may have been 1 winter. It's probably last winter. Okay, so it's probably last winter sometime. But I was thinking of, I was like, man, I want to really start writing again. I really want to start playing again. But
That's not really helped if I do it myself.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, can I play all the instruments? Yep, but it won't. It'll sound just like he was saying.
Yeah.
It'll sound like I just rounded everything off, where I'm supposed to be like this. You know, everything's supposed to be jagged when I write it.
When
And-
you were talking about being out of music for so long, when you come back, you were like, oh, it's like out of prison. You know, it's not. The first thing I envisioned was, I'm gonna get you sucker when he comes walking out and he's got the goldfish in his.
Pretty much how it feels, yeah.
That's the first thing I envisioned. I'm like, oh shit.
I'm in. I'm in.
So
Yeah.
like the time that you spent off, like you wasn't writing or anything.
I didn't do anything. I
Really?
really didn't. I did nothing but work and
Like
try
no
to
poetry or
gather
nothing?
myself. Every once in a while, I think I might have penned something down. It's
Yeah.
probably lost. I mean, it was
Yeah.
just, it needed to be lost, I guess. I don't know. You still are you, but I was telling him, I just was trying to not do it. I was trying
Yeah.
hard not to do it. That sounds crazy, I know, but you do that every day of your life almost, and then you get this feeling that says, I don't know why.
Yeah.
Why am I doing this every day and not something else?
Yeah.
I can do other things, you know, and I don't know, me and my wife got together and had a ton of kids come with us, and you know what I mean? It's just kind of, I like that too.
Yeah.
You know what
Oh,
I mean?
yeah,
So
man.
being a musician's awesome, being an artist is great, but I have my time for it. I have plenty of time for it.
Yeah.
I never probably didn't have time for it. I just was trying to fill myself with different things instead of just being that all the time.
Yeah.
You know, because be quite honest with you, being that all the time was going to turn out bad. You know, it was just,
Yeah. Absolutely.
that's all you got to do. We were talking about it earlier. If you got nothing to do, I mean, you usually find something bad to do.
Yeah.
It's just how it happens.
Yeah.
You know, for me, you know, substance would come into play heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, I just started thinking, well, you know, it's not so bad. I don't know. I guess my common sense factors changed a little bit. You know, it's.
Well, I mean,
not-
do you
I don't even
do,
think
do you
about
feel
it.
like taking time away? You know, now that you got the family and stuff like that, you got the kids and everything else or whatever. You feel like you're just in a completely different mind frame to where, like, when you come back into it, like that's not even going to be.
I think I'm in the original mind frame before I started music.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense whatsoever. But I think that's all I thought about, and that's all I did, and that's all I thought I was. So that's all I became.
Yeah.
You know, but if you go back before all the music was happening, what kind of person was I then? And I had to
Yeah.
think about what is my real emotional status? You know, as a human being, what do I really feel?
Yeah.
What do I really love? What don't I like? You know? And instead of me trying to be somebody that was expected of me to be, which is where I was taking it. And I think that's really bad path for anybody
Yeah.
to take. And a lot of people, I think he even mentioned it, that they're staying this way because they kind of expect
Yeah.
people
Absolutely.
expect them to be that way. Your boss becomes a crowd, and that's all bad at that point.
Yeah.
You don't have to think about that. I think you just go out there and do your thing, and that's just what you are. That's great. If you go beyond that and you're like, well, they're expecting me to go out there and
Yeah.
hang off the lights again here.
Well,
and-
it's kind of like
you
that.
don't have to.
It's that old saying, you know, like when it becomes a job, like it loses all
no
of its
fun.
passion and all of its fun. You know what I mean?
So
And
you're
it's
stuck.
just,
You got a
yeah.
character. You got
Yeah.
a fictitious character you're becoming.
yeah,
And you're watching it kind of happen in front of you like, I have to get up and do it this way.
yeah,
When that guy shows up, I have to do these things. When these people show up, I'm going to do these things. I mean, you start
yeah,
remembering what your cues are by the people you walking in the door. You see someone in the back and you go, okay. It's like mental note to self.
yeah,
He likes it when we do this, so we're going to do this
Yeah.
and keep everybody kind of contained. And then, I don't know, when you take that break and I needed a substance abuse break. I really did. I
Yeah.
had to take a huge break from a lot of the things that I was inhaling and go,
Well, I mean, like,
same thing, you know.
I know, like,
There's no feelings there for a while, and it's like,
we're family, so I mean, we
Yeah, you've
are
been
we
there,
have the
yeah.
history of.
yeah, it's all
But
bad.
you know what I mean. But also too, like going into it too, though, like you know, you started in '91.
Yeah.
Like everybody that was doing anything big there, like you know what I mean. Like so, you're looking
Yeah.
up to a particular lifestyle that you're trying to put. Like that's your goal. Like oh man,
Kind
like
of
the
was.
freaking Molly crew, like they're out there for you know what I mean. Like
Yeah, that's
all
pretty much it.
yeah, it's and I mean it's one of those things where
It was an 80s vibe in the 90s. That sounds crazy.
yeah.
And we carried the flag for it.
Yeah.
You know, we kept it up there like,
You carried the Aquanet
we're
for
wearing makeup, man. That's all there is to it. You know, there's no reason to take that off. But shoegazers came out, man. That whole movement of
Seattle came out, and we were like, well, no one's moving no more.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to talk about something.
Yeah.
Well, in the 80s, fake 80s era, which was 90 through 94, there was a fake 80s era.
Yeah.
It actually went beyond what it was supposed to be, I think. Every music has to have its time and its part in the wheel. And I think that glam metal kind of went too far with itself and it burned its own bulb. It was great for a second. Hanoi Rocks is an amazing band. You know,
What
that's
band?
Hanoi Rocks. Michael Monroe. Yeah, it's go to that go to that limb of the tree for a second. It's like T-Rex or Sweet. You know,
Oh, okay.
these are the original kind of glam guys. When nobody really was against you wearing
Yeah.
frickin' pink and putting your hair at the here.
Wearing spandex
But
and shit.
those guys were legit on it because it was almost punky and glammy. So it was like glam punk metal sort of.
Yeah.
You know, there was no element of round. There was no element of round. So it wasn't Winger style. You know what I mean? That's perfect. I mean, honestly, if you listen to that album, you're like, I don't think they made one single mistake. Of course not. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. But there's no class or character behind that. It's just make it smooth, make it perfect, make it round, make it Mutt Lang.
And see, like,
I don't want to hear that.
I was not trying to call you out or anything. How old are you?
40. Oh. 40 million. Yeah, 43.
43?
Could be 44.
Well, I'm 36, and like, I mean, I was born in 1980, so by the end of the 80s, I was
Yeah.
coherent enough to know what music was and know what was going on. And even in my musical journey,
Yeah.
I still fucking hate the
Yeah,
80s. I fucking hate
It got a
the 80s,
really
dude.
Spinal
And, like,
Tap movie pretty much sums up exactly how it was.
And that's what it was. And the funny thing is, the stuff that I do take out of the 80s,
Yeah.
I don't listen to on a normal basis.
Right.
Which is pop.
Yeah.
I like 80s pop.
Yeah. Some of it's
I
good.
like Michael Jackson.
New wave
I like
stuff's good,
Duran
too.
Duran.
Yeah,
I
right.
like, you know...
I think Billy Idol was good, man. I think he
No,
had
Billy,
a
and,
rough
and
edge.
some of the standards and stuff was good, but
Yeah.
I hate 80s metal.
Yeah.
I hate everything. I don't like Iron Maiden. I don't like Judas Priest. No, I'm sorry. Like, I hate... The
It hurt me with Maiden, man.
80s just had that fucking sound that I just can't stand, and I don't... And it honestly, like, it wasn't until have you ever seen Sound City?
No.
It was, Sound City was a record, not a label. They were a production company.
Okay.
And they were huge in the 80s.
Yeah.
I mean, everything they did was, you know...
So was their gear basically like Loud and Clear would do, or?
From what I got from the documentary, I think so. Dave Grohl made the documentary.
Okay.
Sound City is where Nevermind was
Wait
recorded.
a minute.
I love Dave Grohl.
I do know.
Yeah, Sound
That
City
is a studio of sorts, isn't it?
It's a studio. It's a studio. It's not a record label. It's a studio. Sound City is where Nevermind was recorded.
Okay.
Nirvana's Nevermind.
Yeah.
And that was like the first like non-80s thing they ever did, because everything
Probably the first 80s thing that really came out.
and it was they found them and they were like, you know, and they were trying to record them, and Nirvana kept going, no, like, we want this needs to be really stripped down, stripped down.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I watched that documentary that I realized that, like, that's probably what I hate about the 80s. It was everything became so scientific in making the dollar that everything just became so extremely overproduced. Like,
Yeah.
everything was just, I mean, down to the minute note.
Touch a
was
button.
Just
It really
fucking
was. It was
just-
starting to be a one-button touch.
And it was, and Nirvana was like, you know, they came in and were like, no, we don't want that shit. Like, we want
Yeah.
the raw
Yeah.
tapes
Yeah.
sound,
Right.
but we don't want the production behind it.
Right.
It's pretty
And-
much the explanation of that whole disc, too.
And
Yeah.
and that's, and but it was, when they really broke down the 80s in that documentary, and I was like, you know, I really think that's what it is. It was just too
Well,
much.
That scene was the wrecking ball for the 80s style. It was. The whole scene of Seattle just came and went.
Yeah.
Oh, big time.
And somebody, I don't know who said this.
And
A
I think it was
documentary
like
said it.
you said something earlier that, like, every genre of music or every time, you know,
Yeah.
decade, whatever, has its time.
You have to.
And it's time.
Yeah,
like,
feathered
people were
itself back.
so sick
Well.
of hearing that same 80s metal
Yeah.
glam sound over and over and over and over. And then Nirvana came out and people were like,
Different.
what's this?
It's all different.
It's different.
It's like a complete left. I mean, and it was a 90-degree turn.
And I think Korn did the same thing.
Yeah. They were right. So with them, Deftones, actually Soundgarden came right at kind of.
Dude,
You know what I
Chris
mean? Right after
Chris
that.
Cornell has one of my favorite fucking voices, man.
Yeah, it's different
Had.
throat. Whole different
And
throat.
which is funny because Rickenbaugh thinks he's the worst vocalist that ever came out of the 90s.
What the fuck?
Right? And our friend Rickenbaugh, he is a singer-songwriter vocalist.
Yeah.
But he thinks Chris Cornell has the worst vocals he's ever heard in his entire life.
That's a talented voice. Absolutely.
Dude, it's
Yeah, dude,
amazing.
he's-
And you believe
crazy.
what he says. I mean,
Yeah.
that's to me, it's important to be able to put a pair of headphones on and go.
What's
I'm right there
got to
with
see
you.
him-
What's-
I got to see him once. I got to see him one time,
Yeah.
and it was Chris Cornell's solo.
I remember
And-
that.
But
Yeah.
he did play a lot of Soundgarden songs, so I was like, oh, okay, cool. This is
That's
the
kinda cool.
closest I'll ever get to see his team being
so
Soundgarden.
so
Yeah.
what's crazy is, like, I never really listened to Soundgarden. I never cared for like Rage Against the Machines,
I love Rage. I don't know why. Either.
and then
Rage is the mood band.
the
You
rhythm.
gotta
Audio-
be in the mood to listen to
Audio
music.
Slave.
yeah.
Well, the
Fucking hate Audio Slave.
dude, Audio Slave's first fucking CD, absolutely loved it. And
I
then
don't
after
even like the
listening to that, and then realizing that it's basically Rage
Rage Against the Soundgarden.
with
Soundgarden.
Chris like I went back and then I had a newfound respect for Rage Against the Machines, and like I still haven't listened to Soundgarden, but like, dude, like Chris Cornell to me is fucking amazing, dude. Like Rage Against the Machine is fucking amazing. Like,
Hey, you want to join in? The rest,
You know,
of them,
it's-
the rest of them ate too many cookies. They
Yeah.
went to sleep.
Everybody went away.
I don't know. I'm gonna get around.
No, but see, the funny thing is, I love Soundgarden. I grew up listening to Soundgarden. I love Rage. I do have to be in the mood to listen to Rage. I can't just turn on Rage.
their
whenever.
live
You
album,
gotta be mad.
their live
But I
album. Oh,
hated
dude,
Audio Slave.
You gotta be mad about
I
that.
started.
You gotta be angry about something.
I started my day off today with Rage. Like I was just like,
Wow.
motherfuckers, we're doing this shit.
Hey,
Like, yeah,
time
like,
to go.
motherfucker. Like, and I needed it too because today was fucking terrible.
It happens fast.
Oh, dude.
Let's go.
Yeah, but it's same thing. Like their what was it? I think they were in Texas. Their live album, the red one with the
Who?
Rage Against the Machines.
I don't know where that's at. I really don't. I never really.
That live album and the Linkin Park live album from Texas.
Wow.
Fucking dude,
Okay,
I seen Linkin
I'll-
Park live. One of the best shows I've ever seen.
I've seen Linkin Park live, and it is. I've never seen a band sound closer to the studio
The
version
fucking out,
of the
dude.
band
Chester
than I've
Chester
ever seen
sounded
in my
dead on
entire
the fucking
life.
CD.
Linkin Park was like
Like
that.
Korn is good.
Yeah.
Like they sound like
They're a
studio
little
live.
bit on the raw.
But Linkin Park, fucking they sound studio
Pittsburgh
live.
Dude, it was
Dude,
it's
crystal
like-
fucking. Dude,
Yeah.
it was amazing.
But the funny thing is it's probably why I don't know the Rage what album you're talking about. I fucking hate listening to live albums.
Yeah.
I hate
Because they go off the
listening to
path.
live albums.
You don't like when they go off
It's
the
just-
path, do you?
Live albums ain't live.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's just you get all the like the bull crap, but you just don't get that feeling of being
Dude,
live. you
listen,
know? Like,
listen
it's
to that
just-
Linkin Park one.
But no, what I was
Chester
saying,
and
that
Chester
is-
gets like
Live from Texas,
like,
Linkin
oh,
Park's Live
dude.
from Texas is probably the only live album I could ever listen to from front to back and still love it.
Yeah,
Any other
Shit's
band's live
legit,
album,
dude.
I'm just like, that's garbage.
I like I said, like man, I like the Rage. I'm gonna have to look up that one up.
Rage is impressively effective. That's all you can really say about that.
Killing in the Name
You know
of
what I
is my
mean? They're
favorite
just
song.
effective when they're live. It's like, you believe what he said?
And I've never seen Rage live.
I just see it there. You know, I've never seen it live, like, individually. I just throw it up on the screen and watch it. It's like,
See, I'll
live
watch
at
live
the Grand
videos
Olympic
all day long.
Auditorium.
Listen to a live video.
yeah,
I'm just like, eh.
I see what you're saying. Nothing's visual.
Yeah.
All you're getting is ear candy, and sometimes you're getting the wind in the microphone.
You're getting the wind,
You know, you're
and
like,
feedback,
ah.
and everything else. Like, this is garbage.
That's all you
Yeah.
hear is people. You're like, all right, well.
Yeah, it's live at the Grand Olympic Auditorium. I have no idea where the fuck that's at. So
Olympia.
I would love to see Rage live.
yeah.
That would be.
See, but like I never got into them before because like I feel like he's so political.
Is. They are.
Like I just like it just kind of like
extremely
it turned me off. But then like I said, dude, for whatever same
But
same
they make
thing.
Really good points.
Right? No, like
It's scary that they do,
but like the same thing. Like we were talking about how like your sound for music changes. Like I grew up listening to primarily like rap music, it was Limp Bizkit and Lincoln, like $3 Bill Y'all, and like Linkin Park was kind of my buffer into like rock and like you know what I mean, like kind of like opened up my kind of spectrum or whatever.
And that's
as far
a bigger
as,
jump from you than me going from the '90s to like metal.
yeah. But like I mean, it was like, oh shit, okay, it's actually kind of cool, like you know.
It's your gateway band.
Yeah, and
I'm in now. I like
but
it.
you know what I mean, like and then it like spiraled. I mean, and then I was like, dude, like you know, but like now, like probably my favorite genre is actually probably reggae. Like, dude, I can sit there and listen to reggae, freaking.
I haven't, you know, because of my musical journey, I have a new appreciation for reggae. Like,
It's a happy
I like
sound.
a lot of reggae.
It's a very happy sound.
Huge into bluegrass now, but I only like modern bluegrass. That's
Yeah.
considered to be like trash grass and
Right.
all that kind of
Down
shit.
home.
I don't like old school gospel bluegrass.
I like the I don't even know what the hell you would call it, like the mountain music, like
Yodely. It's Yodely.
same thing.
like the
Appalachia.
Apple,
Yeah,
like
that's a good.
I like that type of shit, man. Like that's
Just got hit.
time
with
and
a new
place.
band this week called Raising Appalachia. They're
Yeah.
it's 2 female singers. It's total bluegrass mountain
That's
sound.
what
Fast.
Grandma was talking about that.
Yeah, Grandma posted it because my brother recommended it, and I was
So
like,
it's fast.
"You recommended it to my brother or my mom before you recommended it to me? Like you know, I like this shit." Like. And great band, check them out.
Yeah.
Raising Appalachia, they're
When
pretty
I
good.
first read it, I thought it said raising alpacas, and like my first thought was like, oh my god, Dominic got an alpaca.
It's just a book.
The funny thing is, I thought it.
It's a how-to.
When I thought it said Rising Appalachia first, I was like Rising Appalachia. And I was searching it, and it was like nothing was coming up.
I got spelled wrong.
they're taking over the cities.
Yeah. Alpacas everywhere.
There's actually a really cool kick-ass band called Gangsta Grass.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Swear
Yeah.
to you, it's rap.
They're
and
mixing everything with
bluegrass.
everything.
It's
It's
rap
okay.
and bluegrass, and it's the coolest shit you've ever heard in your life.
Yeah, but yeah, there he goes. Look at him. Let me see. Yeah.
I've downloaded like 8 albums since this podcast started.
Raising grass.
Gangsta Grass.
Gangsta grass. There you go.
Dude, it's cool. It's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah, no, man, like, I definitely want to, have a new found love of all kinds of music.
Yeah.
Now I went through that. I was just like, because my wife kept, like I mentioned before, she kept getting so mad. She was like, "That's another one of your phases." And I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's
"No,
not-
I'm learning.
Yeah.
I'm learning is
Yeah.
what I'm doing. Like, I'm
Yeah.
going to spend so much time in
It's not a
a
phase.
decade or a category or a genre. And then
Yeah.
rap was never my thing, though, man. Like, I do appreciate some rap.
Some I do, yeah.
I only pretty much appreciate rap that tells me a story.
Yeah.
If it's just like bitches and hoes and $1 million bills, then I'm just like,
I think in
I'm out.
like 80, I want to say 83, 84, it just kind of popped out of nowhere.
So we were listening to metal, but it was a little bit heavier, in my opinion. The metal back then was a little bit more
Judgment Night soundtrack
jagged.
came out. That's what happened.
jagged, man. It was. Metal was just different then, and it was what people think is the pure form of metal was then, but it's just getting, to me, it's getting better. I like the heavier, I like screaming stuff. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
I can't do it, but I like it
Yeah.
because it's the rhythms behind it.
Mm-hmm.
That the bass drum, it's like I can inhale that. I enjoy that. But the old metal was jagged, and all of a sudden, here came all these groups out of California, and then you started listening, and you're like, it throws you off because who invented that one? I mean, we just kind of went,
Yeah.
the heck is that? DMC came out, Dougie Fresh came out, Houdini came out.
So I think
Started with frickin' Sugar Hill Gang,
Aerosmith.
you know?
I think Aerosmith made it cool for rock and metal kids.
They
to
put it in
listen to
stores.
hip-hop.
You know what I mean? They kind of put it on the
You know,
shelf in front
when
of you.
when they did Walk This Way
Yeah.
with DMC, and then I think the next big like surge
Explosion.
between the two was the Judgment Night soundtrack.
Yeah. Yeah.
When they did they would I don't quote me, but they would team up a metal band with a hip hop group.
And the
it
whole
would be
disc.
like it'd be like Anthrax with Eazy-E.
Right. That's
Or,
where
you know,
Onyx and that's where what was that? Onyx and Hatebreed? No. Maybe it
Oh,
was
you're
Hatebreed.
thinking of the Beavis and Butthead experience.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, they
Had
had
a slam on it or something like that.
It was Bounce or something like that. I think it was Slam or Slam on it. But I think
Yeah.
that was the Beavis and Butthead experience
Okay.
album that came out.
So that was
had,
right
like-
that same time, wasn't it? Then.
Yeah, it was. And so you had these two albums pretty close together that came out. It was metal bands mixed with
Oh,
hip hop
that's
bands.
that probably set it all off there.
Yeah, I think that's where the two finally kind of
Yeah.
came together.
That was
It
completely
kinda
normal.
made it okay
You know
to,
what I mean? Like it's completely.
But still,
normal.
even then, like I didn't really get into hip hop until Wu-Tang's Triumph came out.
A lot of people did from that.
Wu-Tang's Triumph, that album was so widespread. That was the first hip hop album that alternative kids were like, I can listen.
They kind
to
of grabbed
this.
onto
It
it.
became cool to listen to rap with that album, and that was kind of like my introduction to hip hop.
It's like
It was Judgment Night. It was Biohazard and Onyx.
Biohazard.
Biohazard and Onyx. Okay.
Would I say Hatebreed?
Yeah.
It's close.
Kind of similar.
Wrong decade.
Yeah,
Close.
same state. Yeah.
New York metal. That's kind of where it was too. But yeah, that stuff came out, and it's so weird that some people will say, oh, I just can't stand rap. It's like, so you don't like rhythm?
I mean, that's really what you're hearing. Whether it's vocally, it's vocal melody, which has basically become a drum. So everything that they're doing has really got a rhythm to it. Everything you're hearing musically is rhythm. So it's really like, you can't really hate it.
Yeah.
You have to like something about it because every song you listen to has both elements.
Right.
It has a vocal melody. It has something that skips through and makes you go, oh, I remember this song. Right. Chorus. But we also have rhythmatic in the background. So saying that you don't like, I just can't stand rap at all. Okay, so you don't like Alice in Chains. You know what I mean? You can just go right there immediately because the drummer for Alice in Chains plays nothing but tribal stuff. That's his major thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of who put that one on the map. It's like, nobody's really doing that.
Yeah.
And then the first album came out, Facelift. And about the same era I started. So right around 90, I want to say, Alice in Chains. I want to say that album was 1990. That tells you how early they came out. They were like us. They were like every band that I was listening to. So they really weren't in that grunge category at
Facelift
first.
came out right around 1990 because then, I don't think Dirt came out.
Seattle
till
wouldn't really,
94.
That's when you can relate the two together. But the first album, you're like, nah, it's just rock. It's metal rock. I mean, it's kind of, their hair was longer. You just assumed.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of went with the Seattle scene because it was like, well, I mean, it's something to
Yeah.
grab onto.
I'm sure it was a bunch of kids that was like,
Right.
okay, I like the feel
Right.
of this rap
Yeah,
music,
just cut your hair, man.
but
You
I'm
know?
still a rocker, so
Right.
let's do both.
We can do
and
this.
we can just do both.
Yep.
And I guarantee that's what it was.
It had to be.
Well, that was like Johnny Cash did Hurt.
Yep.
Oh,
That
yeah.
blew my
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
Changed one word of that entire lyric and then made it in a completely different song.
Dude, like, love both versions.
Yeah.
But dude, like Johnny Cash, like
You listen to
freaking love.
Nine Inch Nails and you realize really quick that it's about a heroin addiction.
Yeah.
You realize really quick. You listen to Johnny Cash's version, you don't think that at all.
No, it changes everything.
You don't think it
and
at all?
You should, but you don't.
He changed one word. He changed
Yeah.
one word.
Yeah.
And it was the crown of thorns from the crown of shit to the crown of thorns.
Yeah.
And that was all he had to change. But just the way he made it sound, you realize real quickly that it's about someone he lost and not a heroin addiction.
Right. Right.
And it's great.
Whole disc.
Yeah,
though.
dude,
Great.
amazing, man.
Love it. I love that Johnny Cash did that.
Yeah, that's awesome,
Dude,
dude.
you have a legendary artist,
Yeah.
legendary artist doing recent covers.
Imagine
look-
if it was your
'Cause
band.
he did Soundgarden's
yeah.
Rusty Cage.
And then look at like the video for Hurt. How many like iconic like present like superstars
Yeah.
in the industry like paying their respect. You know what I mean? Like to be in that video and to help like do that like and sing like lyrics here and there and shit like that or
I
whatever.
think
But
you're thinking of a different video. I think
or no, I'm thinking of yeah, no. No, it's,
I can hear it.
Yeah.
sooner or later God will cut you down.
God will cut you down.
Yeah.
That's that video that has like a billion.
It has like
celebrities
every
in it.
artist like ever or whatever. Yeah, no, Hurt is the one where it's just him. Yeah, like and I like
I think it's just him in a room.
I heard
Acoustic, yeah.
I heard his version of it first before the original. And yeah, like,
Oh, really?
I totally thought that was like about his wife, like 100%.
It was.
And then I heard
He sold it.
and then I heard the original and was like, well,
It was about Rose. You're the second one. You're like, oh shit, he's got needles. On.
yeah,
He's on heroin.
yeah.
No way. Not Johnny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
His tattoos were freaking you out.
Just the one.
Which one? The clown?
Must
Oh.
be that one.
Hey, we realized we made a club day event to go see it. You gonna go with us?
That's on my bucket list for this like.
We're all
season.
going. We're the whole club. We're
When's
gonna
that
go.
coming out?
September
I don't
7th.
know.
I saw a couple of the previews for it.
September 7th.
Looks legit.
It's better than the last one looked.
Yeah.
Has floppy ears and rubber masks.
Dude, the last
That
one
was
was amazing.
No way.
It was amazing when we were kids.
I was gonna
No,
say
it
it
was
had a
when
little
we were
floppy.
kids.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I thought more was funny than scary. I think this one will be kind of creepy.
She's never even seen it. She has a fear of clowns.
Yeah. If you don't like clowns, you don't like clowns.
Trinity's a singer.
Why did you? What,
Sing us something,
what
Trinity.
the heck? Like,
Trinity, sing us something.
alright.
Have you figured out what you're going to do for your
No.
audition
Why
yet?
do I? What if I work? Sorry.
You already signed up. What are you going to sing?
I don't know.
I signed her up for
She didn't, even,
America's Got Talent. It's
she
coming.
didn't even sign up for herself.
Oh, nice.
You just gotta say,
Well,
hey, guess what I did
she's
for you
not
today?
old enough to sign up. Like,
oh yeah.
I had to sign her up.
Yeah.
But no, she wanted to. But I'm gonna tell a joke about you.
Oh man.
It's funny. I told her, I was like, the other day, I was like, you know what I would love you to do, Trina? I would love you to do a slowed down like girl version of Sweet Child of Mine.
Shut up.
And she goes, I don't know that song because Welcome to the Jungle was on the radio at the time.
Yeah.
And I mean, she's actually pretty cultured. Like she knows a lot
Yeah.
about like a lot of music because I've taught her a lot. But she was like, I don't know that I know that song, and I was like, you would if you heard it, you'd know what I'm talking about.
I was kidding when I.
No, she was kidding, but she goes, all of a sudden she goes, all right, I'll look it up, and then she goes, Sweet Child of Mine, bum bum bum.
It's not Neil Diamond.
And I just looked at her, and she goes, oh, sorry. Sweet Child of Mine, bum. But she's like, you wanted it slow, right? I was like, you're a dick. Shut up. No, she knew she was messing.
Yeah. Axel and Slash to Neil.
Yeah. It's a drastic turn.
I
That was
love-
that was the
It
left.
fits kind of perfectly.
Yeah,
though.
yeah, you can put it in there. It's like
I
them
love
or
the name
mashups or whatever
Axel.
you see it now.
Yeah.
You seen those?
Yeah.
Oh, those
I
things are
bet
incredible.
I'm gonna name my kid Axel. I swear.
You shouldn't.
No, I'm
You
going.
shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
He's pretty much going to be a dick if you do.
Yeah. Well,
He's going to grow up and be overweight and ugly and sell out.
and me.
He's going to be a killer dancer, though.
I'll be rich.
He will be rich.
Right. Am I getting put in a good nursing home? I mean,
I think Axel's still paying off his core costs from years ago.
Yeah.
I really do. I think he is. I don't know what he exactly did, but apparently a lot of money's worth.
Yeah.
That's all you hear about is
When
like, he's still paying. Like,
When they were talking about
He had
like,
to- he had to go on
It
tour.
was the 11-year production of the fucking Chinese
that was bad.
Yeah.
Democracy album.
Democracy is.
gosh.
How do you not pull out an album quicker than that? It was legit 10 years.
they wanted
well,
they
I
wanted to
think
make
that
sure
album's in
everything
production
was
for about
right.
10
They
years.
I
wanted
mean,
to make sure everything was right.
that's not right.
They wanted to cross
You
their
got
I's and dot their T's.
Buckethead. I mean, you should be good with that, right? He can play the guitar. You're good. But I'm sure he sat inside there and just kept, nope, nope.
This is garbage.
So like it makes you wait like to see the show.
I mean, I know we
he
don't.
makes you wait for the disc as well.
I don't know these people personally, but I think everybody can vouch when I say, like, I'm going to trust Slash's word
Yeah, probably.
over
Yeah.
Axel's.
It's probably better. It's best. Yeah.
He seemed more sane.
Sadly, he seemed more sober. That's really scary.
It is weird, right?
It is weird. I
He
think
was
is.
insanely sober all through Guns N' Roses and everything.
When they
It's not because you couldn't see his eyes.
I was
Yeah.
gonna
See how
say
red
that.
they were.
He couldn't see out either. Don't worry.
when they were talking about when they did like their thing, I think it was on MTV or something like that, and they were talking about like how he came out and did Welcome to the Jungle, and he got like through like the
With
first,
the braids? Was it the day with the braids?
He got like through like the first part, like I think he was wearing like a jersey, and
Oh,
like
I
he's
remember
and like he
that.
got completely out of breath. Was like,
Was it like 2004 or something like that?
acted like it was a sound
It was
problem.
like their
Yeah,
first.
like-
It was their first big comeback. It was like 2004.
yeah,
he
or
oh
tried.
dude, it
Yeah.
was. He was so chubby and just out of
out of
shape,
breath.
like
It was
could
bad.
I
not
remember that.
could not put forth the energy that he
Yeah.
used to.
That was when the braids came out. I do remember that.
Yeah.
Looked like red, golden. I think they were cornrows.
Yeah.
All the way
I think
back.
he probably started
were.
like losing his hair, and then he thought, if I
I-
just cornrow them,
they'll never
they'll
see it.
never
They'll
fall
never
out.
know. It'll start way up here. They'll never see this. If he loses his forehead though first,
Yeah.
there
They'll
goes the whole
detach
first
from
two
the
rows.
skull,
Yeah.
but they'll be right there.
Right. I'll buy them. That's right what he did. He probably
I'll
bought them.
I'll just keep my head tilted down.
Yeah. Can you put
No one
this
will
in?
know.
How much is that for surgery on your head? I'm sure you did it. I really do.
Because his forehead, there's no way. It should be weak, like back here by now.
Not Axel. Pretty red hair again. Straight. Straight as poker. Yep. I think he pretty much paid everything he got.
Nah, man, but all the way back to Greta Van Fleet. I was working in here. I was helping Chuck do something, and he had EBN on.
Yeah, that's when I heard it.
Doing something, and I was like, it came on, and it stopped me in my tracks. I was like,
what is that?
What is this?
Yeah.
Because like this, there's like I hate Radio Rock.
It throws you off.
I hate Nickelback. I hate the only one that actually I can really say that I appreciate out of all Radio Rock right now is Shinedown.
Yeah.
I can dig Shinedown. I think I hate Nickelback. I don't like Theory for Dead Man. I don't like Saving Abel and like a lot of the newer bands that are out playing.
Yeah.
I don't like even early Godsmack. I don't like, but newer Godsmack I don't like. And this song came on, and it literally stopped me in my tracks, and I was like, "What's this?
Yeah.
What is this?" And like I immediately put my phone up to the radio, like having it listen to tell me who it was.
Shazam or whatever it is. Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.
It's great.
Tell me who this is.
But I've seriously listened to the album. I had it on in the car later today. Like I've
Amazing.
listened.
Sound
to
of
the
it's
album,
amazing.
It's
billion
like
times.
his new boy crush.
Well.
Seriously, I've listened.
But it legit sounds like Robert Plant when you first hear it, and then you listen further, and you're like, and that's Jimmy Page. And like you really think like, is this something old that they've just rehashed or thrown out there a demo? But then you realize the guy's voice is like, no, that's not them. I mean,
but
it's somebody different.
Good though.
So close.
He's got that.
It's big.
Green.
He does. It's dead ringer, and I think he uses it on purpose. I don't know what the rest of the disc is like, but I can imagine he would use that same exact screen all the way through there. Like,
he does.
I know what
They
it sounds
actually
like.
have the 4 songs. They have 4 songs in. Obviously the one that's on the radio. Another one is good, big, hype like that.
Yeah.
They have a slower one. Like it's actually really slow. It's almost
balladish?
balladish.
Okay.
And then the second one's just kind of a general rock song, not quite as heavy, but not quite as slow.
Right,
and,
right.
It's pretty, dude. It's awesome. It's really good. If you liked that song, you will like the rest of the album.
I like the one that I heard, and that was the one
Yeah,
EBM
if you like that one,
was gunning.
you'll like the rest.
And that's what stopped me about it. Was like,
That shit stopped me in my tracks. I was like,
that's different than normal. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not.
What is
it's
this?
nothing new. It doesn't sound anything candy whatsoever. It's actually really raw, but right. You know what I mean? It's got edges, but it's round too. It's kind of both.
You know what's funny? I like it, but I was like, here's my whole thought behind it. I was like, fucking hipsters. That was my thought.
You do it first. You're
But I
like,
was
they nailed
but
it.
Thank God for hipsters though, because
start
they're
thinking,
bringing back.
you do.
like-
Yeah.
But dude, I that was my whole thought. I was just like, if it wasn't for hipsters, this probably wouldn't be happening.
No, because they're playing right to it. I mean,
Yeah.
they're playing like, oh, I like that old stuff.
Aaron has it come to grips yet that he's a hipster.
He's not.
Yeah.
He's still coming to grips with that one.
What do you do that's hip?
Ask her, my daughter. She knows best.
No.
Oh, does she?
You know my favorite. You know my favorite joke in the world is?
Where do you drown a hipster? In a mainstream.
That's good though.
That's
actually a
my
pretty
favorite
good
joke.
one. Yeah,
That's
it's
my
pretty
favorite joke.
I'm trying to think like who's the most like hipster like person.
He'll never admit it, but
in the
Phil.
club.
I was gonna say
I mean,
Phil.
I know Phil.
Never
Yeah.
admit it.
He'll kick my
Never
ass
admit
just if he ever hears this. He'll be like, I'm not fucking hipster, man. I'm like,
I was gonna say in the club, but yeah, Phil.
in the club?
Me?
No,
No.
he said it.
If we're gonna go in the club, then I'm gonna be 100% completely honest and say I'm probably closest to the hipster world in the
Yeah.
club.
It's pretty close.
You know who's like really?
But I'm not hipster.
You can like reach out and touch it, like.
I could touch it.
Hey.
I teeter on the.
Like you're twisting your mustache away from being. That's how close it's literally just one of those, and you're.
No, you know where we ate? We ate in like the hipster street.
You're not helping your dad.
I don't care.
Oh, fair enough.
He's like, where
we
was
went to
this?
Drunken Bento.
What is that?
That's just good ass sushi.
Sushi.
We went to Clifton.
You looked over
No,
like,
we
is
went
that?
to Clifton,
Aw.
like in the hipster village,
Yeah.
like right by UC.
That wasn't always the hipster village.
It wasn't. It was actually
Nah.
a cool fucking
is
spot
It
to
is
fucking
not
hang out.
hipster. It's still not hipster.
Still not
village.
yet.
No,
That's
we
fine.
saw
North
Sky
side
down
is still
there.
the
It's
hipster
Still look
village.
like the OK Corral on that little
That's
stretch.
what.
No.
Like it could happen at any time in the middle of the street
Gary,
by Bogarts.
I'm not going to disappoint you. North side is still hipster mecca.
It is.
Clifton is not totally hipster
Over the
mecca.
line.
Like Clifton and all that right there and like. And the funny thing is, she's trying to like dog me on this. I was gonna take her to Fusible up here in Coleraine, but her friends recommended Drunken Mento in Clifton, so I took her there.
Was it good?
No, you were.
And it was fucking phenomenal, though.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, holy shit. Come to find out, it was like one of the, like, because it's right there by UC,
Yeah.
and it's one of the best sushi places in Clifton. But it's a college town, so they're always half off.
They
Dude,
gotta
we
be slammed,
went
don't
down
they?
there.
We
me
got
and
a
her-
roll,
We got 3 rolls. I got a beer,
a $7 beer.
a $7 beer.
That's stadium prices almost.
Well, it
Our
was
total-
$7 on the menu.
Our total was $20.
$20. 3 rolls, a beer, and then her drink.
Our cheapest roll of sushi was $3.
How big's a roll of sushi?
Right.
Full roll.
Well, I don't eat sushi, so.
It comes with a minimum of
California
six
We got a
pieces
shrimp
Six
tempura
Okay.
Sunday morning,
and a
and
dynamite.
then the dynamite roll, and I got a beer, and then she got a drink, and it was $20.
I got water.
The shrimp tempura roll was $3.50.
Why is
No,
the
that
beer
was Sunday
$7?
morning.
That's bothering me right now. I'm like, that's
Well, no,
The beer was
I got
expensive.
I got a Sapporo, which was
okay.
the taller
The
bottle.
Japanese beer, I think.
Yeah, and then which
Yeah.
was
Yeah. It's not even made in
Sapporos
Japan.
at every Japanese restaurant,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And she's like, "Why'd you get that? I've never seen you order that before."
It's pretty
I was
good.
Like, I was like, "I'm at a Japanese restaurant when in Rome,"
Yeah.
So
Or
me and her
Japan.
sitting here reading the bottle the whole time. Asian, Japanese, Chinese, nothing is on the bottle
Yeah.
at all.
Nothing.
Nowhere.
Nowhere.
In the fine print at the very bottom says
Made
it
in
was print by
Sapporo.
Sapporo Incorporated in New York City, and I was
Yeah.
like,
Oh, that
No,
part
it
of
was
Asia.
Wisconsin.
Oh, that part of Japan, you mean? Yeah, up there by the big lady with the.
I was just like, oh,
Orange.
Sapporo's always sold in Asian restaurants.
Yeah.
This is an Asian beer.
Yeah. It's not.
Apparently not.
I didn't know that. Yeah. I did not.
Doesn't
know that.
matter. I still go to
That's
Cancun
you.
and get Dos
That's-
Equis. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Don't go to the
But yeah, so the
one
beer,
by the bowling alley.
the beer ended up being $5.
Oh, that one's sketchy.
The beer ended up being $5, and then all the rolls were half off.
I lost my
But
glasses
apparently,
there.
Half
all,
off's good.
all the rolls are always half off.
Okay.
That's what everyone says. They're
Yeah.
like, why don't you just make the rolls half off if they're always
Like that
half
all the time.
off? But like, yeah, dude, I was 3 whole rolls, beer and her drink, $20.
You're in.
Dude, it was good.
Yeah.
It was good as shit. I'm not
Fresh. It wasn't gamey.
Super fresh. Good as shit.
Well, we lost
No.
2.
We lost everybody
Two
that
faithful
knows how to
fighters.
hit stop on that computer. Anyways, let's talk about you, man, real quick. You got any? What are you doing? You got any project shows coming up?
No,
Anything
it's gonna be a
recent?
second. It's gonna be a second for any kind of. Yeah. When I say a second, I mean I want to release it at the right time. I want to put everything together, and I think everybody I'm working with is on board right now with that. Instead of just kind of going like we'll
Pushing it
just
out, yeah.
play and keep playing, and we'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we just go ahead and make it all happen at once, lay it on the table, and go it, and then do it the right way. That was one of my biggest complaints of every single band or every act I've ever been in or started.
Yeah.
It was always like, let's just go play. Because the love of playing, it was the love of performing, and you do get
It's that adrenaline, yeah.
that's a hooker, man. As you get into that, like, I just want to keep doing this every day. I
Dude,
just
you
wanna
guys
keep
kicked ass
going and
live,
playing
dude.
more. I enjoyed the crap.
Dude, yeah, you high energy,
Dude.
yeah.
I mean, I suffered for it later, but I mean,
Yeah.
that was what you're supposed to do. I just kept thinking of how many times I walked in and seen a band for $5, and there was crap.
Yeah.
It's like I was not blown away at all. You know what I mean? I really just paid $5 to get in to drink beer now
Yeah.
because it was
But how many
disappointing.
times you walked in and paid $5 and seen a band that was amazing?
Not it just is, it's never. You never really do. I mean, that for $5, you know what I mean? And we were taking. That was the time period where everybody was paying 7 to 10.
Mhm.
Everybody, if you were a band that was playing and it was legit, it wasn't a 3-set deal. It was your show, and you might have three on that bill. But see, they started overstuffing bills. We're gonna put 7 bands on, start at noon, It's like, remember when there was 2?
Yeah.
So
Opener, closer.
When's the last time you've done like are you starting at metal again, or we don't know?
It's just rock. I mean, all I can really say is it's rock. I've never really been in a metal band. I've been in a glam metal band. I mean, I've been, if that's what you want to call it. That's what it was labeled.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't say we were. That's just what everyone said. It kind of was the mixture of. So we went, okay, it's glam metal. Come to find out, that became a genre.
So
It's not
when's
because
the
of
last time
us,
you've,
but
like booked shows?
9 years.
it's been a long time. It's been a long
The
time.
world's different.
Everything's different. A lot more to
Don't
write
ever
about.
book a show with David Kevorkian. If he's listening, I don't give a fuck.
I take it this is
With that last name, it sounds like he would kill your career.
Sounds like it's not. That's what I thought. I'm like, did that guy die already?
He will sell out local bands to
Yeah.
promote national bands.
Yeah.
Like he will fucking. He's one of those guys that'll like. He'll make you sell you tickets to your own show.
Oh no, I've already been
which
through
will
that.
then will pay for the
No.
fucking. And
That's LA style, and it's really sketchy. It works.
It
For
is
them-
LA
for
style,
them,
but
it
it's
works.
just now hitting here,
It
and
works.
everyone's all the local bands now
They're
are
blown
buying
away.
into it. They're buying into it. They're
No
like,
way.
oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I just want to play
I'm
here.
gonna open up for OTEP. Okay,
Right.
great.
Exactly.
And then I'm gonna,
I just want to play here. That was the biggest thing. Was okay, whatever you want
and
us
all
to
he's
do.
doing is fucking ripping off the local talent, which
That's pretty much it.
pisses me off.
Well, the local talent sells those tickets and pays for the talent
show.
that comes
Yeah,
in. That's it.
Yeah,
Headline.
that's all it is.
Bar owners
The
getting
local
all
talent
the liquor sales
Pays
now,
for
everything.
the national
Yep.
talent, and
That's it.
nobody gives a fuck. They promote the fuck
The
out of
national talent does not care either. They do
Yeah,
not care.
they promote the fuck out of the national talent.
Yeah.
Your name's, local bands.
Oh,
very,
yeah.
very small.
Like it's an old Battle of the Bands ticket.
It's retarded. It's stupid.
Bogarts.
Yeah.
This band.
Yeah.
He is exploiting the shit out of that in our metal scene right now.
Really?
Cincinnati's a metal scene. He is destroying it and exploiting it.
Where's the coffee?
To make stickers.
Back in the white box.
You just say, make your own website. Say no to Dr. Dave.
We actually, he'll never listen to this year, probably.
Yeah.
I said OTEP before because OTEP came recently. He had all local bands opening up, and OTEP came. And
She has got.
I don't know
a
the-
crazy freaking scream.
I don't know the
OTEP, oh my
whole
gosh.
story behind what happened beforehand, but OTEP got here, and he's like, "Go ahead and start setting up. I'm heading to the bank and get your cash right now." They're like, "All right, cool." They set up the whole stage, came back, and he was like, "There was actually literally, I don't even saw him. There's memes." He said, "The bank ran out of money.
What?
I can't get your money right now.
Shut the
I
fuck
will
up.
mail it to you."
That can't be true. He didn't say
No,
that.
I swear to you.
That's the
there was-
worst excuse
The
ever
way
not to
the
pay
way my
somebody.
bank account
OTEP's.
works.
Yeah.
If you go to OTEP's page. Go down about a month ago. She's got a 12-minute video where she's just going off about David Kevorkian.
Didn't get paid at all, did they?
They didn't get paid. They actually walked off. They never even played.
Yeah, they didn't play.
All the fans got pissed, but that was why the video happened.
Now they know.
Because they were like, he said his bank ran out of money. Like, she says it in there. There was videos, there was memes going on with his face on it,
Yeah.
and it was like, "Sorry guys, my bank ran out of money." Like it was like.
I'm gonna use that for mortgage
Right.
this month. Oh, watch me. I wanted to send you guys the mortgage, but
Not quite cool.
no. Well, I said the bank's out of money there.
Yeah.
Sorry. Better luck next Friday.
So he's a big he's just sticking a big dick in
There we
Cincinnati's
go.
metal scene.
He's
right
trying
now,
to
is
kill
what
it.
He's doing.
He's trying to make a buck.
He's making it. He's making Cincinnati's metal scene shit.
Ain't working. It ain't gonna work. We had a couple of those in the past, man. There's always somebody on the scene trying to. They're not even in the
The
music
problem
background.
is he's actually managing to pull off some pretty big names.
Hey, it's getting his
I
ties.
went to a couple of his shows. I went and saw Soulfly at Mad Frog.
That's a big deal.
That's a huge deal.
That must have. That's who put Winery Dogs in there. That had to be. Winery Dogs is. That's
What's the last one?
Put it back.
3 players, and it's Richie Kotzen. Bass player's Billy Sheehan, and the drummer was I can't never think of his name. I don't know why. He's an excellent drummer.
Billy
Dream
Sheehan,
Theater's drummer from years ago. Did the Nightmare album for Sevenfold. Can't think of his
I
name.
don't know, man.
But it's a 3-piece band, super tight band. But they played the Mad Frog. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way they played the Mad Frog. Mad Frog's like, I mean, anybody can
Dude, that's-
walk in
that's
Mad
what
Frog
I
and say,
thought.
I
Dude,
want to play
that's
here.
what I
And they'll
thought.
we'll let you.
When I found out about this Soulfly show, I was like, oh, Soulfly's coming? Hell yeah. Where
Yeah.
they playing? Wait.
That don't make
Mad
that
Frog?
don't make no sense.
Mad Frog?
That's too small, really.
Mad Frog? Really?
Yeah.
Dude, he started booking shows in there like crazy. He put Soulfly in there.
Yeah.
Which I went to the show. It was fucking amazing. It was like the most intimate I've ever seen
Probably
Soulfly.
packed.
It was great.
I mean, you know.
He booked a Whitechapel show in there. What else did he do? He did a couple
How
of
was that
huge-
possible?
Dude, he was booking
Yeah,
shows.
It's like that big. Can't even fit in that.
Dude, the whole like stage and crowd area is smaller than the room we're in right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, like especially the way it's set up because you have to like kind of walk around to get to the.
The
Dude, it's
restroom.
stupid,
Yeah.
dude, but he
And a
was
bar.
pulling it off, and I think because he was doing that, he was making a name for himself. Even though all the local bands knew it was shit,
Yep.
all the average going concert goer knew it was
Can you
shit.
imagine being that band and walking into that place like,
Yeah. We're in a
ain't no way.
We're in a closet.
Who booked this?
Yeah. What the hell?
Who's our manager at this point? I don't care who booked it. Oh yeah. Wife texted me and said it's Mike Portnoy.
What?
That's who I meant.
Who?
Mike Portnoy,
Who's that?
drummer.
For.
Dream Theater and Avenged Sevenfold's second.
Gotcha.
That's who's in that band. By the way, better say thanks.
I seen Avenged Sevenfold in up in Dayton, X Fest.
Yep.
We actually bought the tickets to Buck Cherry was supposed to be
Yeah,
headlining,
I remember that.
and we
Yep.
freaking went
I
up
remember
there
that
to go
year.
see
That was
them.
in. Where was that located? Not Beaver
Dayton.
Creek. Yeah. Okay, so
it was
is-
like a
it is the
a
same thing.
county fair or
Yeah.
something like that.
It was.
Dude, it was actually slick how they had it set up,
Yeah.
man. They had a stage at both ends.
Yep.
And while one was playing, the next band was
Somebody else was there.
It was Stained, Buck Cherry, Avenged Sevenfold. Like, dude, it was a killer
big.
freaking.
It's huge.
But we wanted to see Buck Cherry, and we get there, and then we found out that Buck Cherry had a flight issue or something like that, so they went on first.
Yeah,
and
they
I was
flew
like,
somewhere else.
freaking
They
son of a
wanted to fly-
bitch.
Is it Russian?
Yeah, back in the back corner.
Here's what I realized before you walk away. Last week I realized me and you need to start a movie podcast.
Yes.
This week I'm realizing the three of us need to start a music podcast.
He needs a podcast. Yeah, it does.
Dude, like
He's got stupid knowledge.
dude, you're not as bad as well though. Like I feel like the three of us just sitting here talking about music. We're like, oh, this is
Yeah.
great. Like,
Yeah.
Rebecca texted me and said this is the best podcast we've ever had.
she's adorable.
He said, oh. How much you want to bet I get a text right now? Like, not because of Aaron.
Like, really? Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's
No, after last week's, I was like, dude, your movie knowledge is on point. Me and you need to have a movie podcast. After tonight, I was just like, dude, the three of us, just music. I could just hear talking about music all night. This is great.
Yeah, we're very similar as far as like personalities go, dude. Like sense of humor and shit like that or whatever. Yeah, dude. But his knowledge of, I really wish he would have played tonight. Like, cause I love, like, dude, I've seen him play like acoustic and shit a couple times. Like, dude, I fucking love it, dude. But like when he was playing live and shit like that or whatever, dude, like, dude, it was like high energy, dude, getting the crowd. I'll send you some of their songs and shit. Like, it's legit, man. I used to love freaking going and watching him play.
You can't just pop in and
Yeah,
pop
like that
out
was
as
like
you please.
super
Like, what are you doing?
awkward,
It's
fucking.
weird. What are you
It
doing?
was like
You're
intense,
either
hard
on the
eye
show or
contact.
You're
I'm
not
going to
on
bed,
the show.
but can I use this? It looks
Oh my
dirty and
God.
old.
I'm parenting on the podcast right now.
He's a good dad, people.
Yes, you can
Alright.
use it.
Like,
Don't come back on the show. Weird.
Part of me wished that
That's
curtain.
weird.
Part of me wished that curtain was tight enough that when she walked through, like clotheslined her. Love you.
Love you guys. Night. The cat's up here.
Which one? Our cat?
Our cat.
You have a cat?
That's your fault for not shutting the door.
Like,
Yeah,
oh my
we have a
goodness.
cat right there.
Oh, hey you.
Hi, Abel.
He's like, where am I? All right.
That's Abel. My wife named it.
After the
After
weekend.
the weekend.
Yeah.
The artist.
Yeah.
The weekend. His real name is Abel.
I made it.
Is it really?
All right, Abel, say good night.
Ever heard of the weekend?
Say good night.
The hip hop guy, the
Nice.
R&B
Say
guy.
good night. Tell him you love him.
That's our cat.
don't
My wife
like you.
named him after
No,
his
tell
real
him
name.
you
I don't like
The
cats.
Weekend?
Just tell him you love
Abel.
him.
Oh,
My wife's gonna have an allergic reaction now.
Shadow's gonna eat that cat. Get on through.
Alright.
I have 6 cats.
You are
I love you.
You're still talking about kids? Or
Creepy
you talking
cats.
about cats?
Yeah.
You have 6
Hey.
kids and 6 cats?
And a dog. I'm not claiming it.
Just one dog?
It's not mine.
you'll claim the 6 cats, but not
Oh,
the dog.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're a cat dude.
I am a cat dude.
I fucking hate cats.
It's scary.
dude,
You
man,
should see it. You should see the pictures on my phone. It's sad, really.
That's
I-
not why it's
Who
cat.
sits there and takes pictures of their cats like that? But
I'm a
I
rock
hate-
star.
I hate
Yeah,
cats. That's
yeah.
not why it's
Check
cat.
out Kitty though.
I mean, I do like that cat, but overall, I'm just like,
Yeah.
more times than not, I'm like,
Yeah.
you're a dick.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm a-
every
I'm
day,
a-
like,
they
you're
really
an
are.
asshole.
Yeah.
I'm an animal lover, so like even like he'll jump over like
Shadow. Come here,
like
Shadow.
yeah like he's making sure actions okay. Like, dude, you good?
Checking on you.
We gotta call Roy.
Action Shadow's checking on you. Make sure you're alive.
He gave
Put his
the
paw up,
nod.
like, you good? Good.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm a friggin' animal lover. So like, if a cat, like, and like, dude, I don't
I'm
like
an
cats.
animal lover,
and
so,
they're
like-
but they're drawn to me. It's like they're assholes. It's like they sense that I don't like them, and they're like,
That's everybody. As soon as your hand
Do it on purpose.
back
Like,
to
yeah,
their
oh,
fucking-
yeah.
That's why you pet them. They go.
Back goes up. Yeah. Yeah. Then they turn and put their in your.
When I
face.
was like 12,
why'd you do that though?
Guess it's
That
their.
was a little spot
it's
on.
their-
when I was
A little
12,
too on the nose.
like growing up, we never had cats. Like we were always dog people.
Yeah.
And then I was like 12, 13. It was Halloween. I was handing out candy. Like I had come back already from doing my candy run, and I was handing out. Hi, Shadow. I was handing out candy, and my parents went in. Dude, this stray cat comes walking up on the porch.
Pretty
It's
good.
not my proudest moment I'm about to tell right here. I swear to God.
There you go.
But this cat comes up, and I'm petting the cat,
Look, it already knows.
and I noticed that every
creepy.
time I got towards his tail, like his ass would go up,
Like
and I
that?
was just like, well, that's weird.
Yeah. What's wrong with
And
this
being
thing?
a 12, 13-year-old boy, I was like, man, this cat wants to get fucked in the ass. So I grabbed a stick.
Why does he say it?
First off, hold on.
Like that cat's face looked at me like.
Why did you
Did he say that to
like?
me?
But you said it like that's the thought that every typical 12 or 13-year-old boy would have.
That's
Like,
what I thought. I don't know. Like I had never had a cat before, and I couldn't figure out why. That every time I rubbed
I
it,
hope you never
like
had a
he was
cat
going-
since, man.
and so like I took a stick that I found online or online outside, and so I went.
Dude.
Ended up being my cat for like 4 months, but he liked it.
Oh my gosh.
That cat's huge.
Yeah.
That is a big cat. I got a cat
All right,
that I
guys.
thought was big. That's way
We're gonna end this.
All right, let's do
We
it.
started a little late. We're gonna end a little late. Thanks, Dean.
I appreciate
Coming
it, guys.
on.
Appreciate it.
It was actually a great
fun.
conversation.
Hell yeah.
I actually really
Could
enjoyed
have went
that.
4 hours on that one. You know,
Even though we lost our other 2 hosts and
Yeah.
our
I
producer.
don't know where they went.
Roy's MIA. I don't,
Honestly, don't know where they went. And a cat.
But if you want to be a future guest or a sponsor, just let us know. Message us on Facebook at Unshaven Modcast or on our YouTube at Unshaven Modcast. Subscribe, like us, follow us, thumbs up, whatever the fuck you gotta do. I don't give a fuck. But you know,
we're friendly.
we're friendly.
Yeah, man. When you get some stuff
Get
together,
a product.
whatever, man.
I get something. Like I
Yeah,
said,
man,
I don't
come
want
back on
to
and
give you
play.
anything half. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll let you hear a few of the things, and it's like,
Yeah.
But note that that's stripped down, way raw, never been mixed. I mean, all that good stuff. So it's like, I don't want to let it go until it's right. I mean,
Yeah,
that's the whole
absolutely.
point, is not to let a demo out, let a disc out.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
I appreciate
Alright.
it, though, guys.
Well, like I said at the end of every episode, everybody can fuck off and die.
Fair enough.
Fuck off and die. We're all leaving. I don't even have to stop.